Oh, oh, oh. Nope, we're fine. Oh no, did we switch?
Yes.
I'm never ready. Hi. Oops. Welcome, travelers. If you're new here, hello. We're prepared. If you're new here, hi, my name is Brenna. I am your plot giveth and plot taketh away DM, and welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. This is our tabletop RPG adventure that we are thrilled to share with you. This game uses the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, plus some 2024 systems and rules, and the setting is a homebrew based on the rock album Razia Shadow by Forgive Durden. Before we get too lost in our adventure for this evening, please be sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a little comment below, answering the following question to help our fun algorithms. If you had limitless money, what would you do? Limitless money. My players have already warned me that it would be limitless chaos, but maybe you can give me a happier answer, a less frightening answer. I'd so greatly appreciate that. Also, it does help our algorithms, which we've already had people come and find us via YouTube's algorithms, which has been very, very cool. They've hopped into our Discord. You are also welcome to join our Discord, which we'd love to have you there. Lots of fun stuff are coming about starting next month if I can get my act together. So make sure you are in there as well. And without further ado, please enjoy this session of Razia's Shadow, a 1,000-year interlude. Let's recap. I hope my numbering is still correct. Session 44. Lilaric the Flayer. Face to face with a deadly beast, the Vivere stood their ground with all of the gall for which they've become known. Their skill and tact led to their victory over Lilaric the Flayer, and access to the goods in his lair, including his hoard. What they didn't expect was a small nook hidden behind the wall that held unusual treasure. They found notes about the ruby worshippers that Nina mentioned back in Gratibino. And still, the Vivere were left with more questions than answers. On their way out of the lair, they caught the final moments of two humanoids escape in a circle of light. Each had telling traits of two people the Vivere were looking for. Where did they go? Why were they there? Another question they hoped to have answered when they returned to the guardianship.
Wait, I remember one telling trait. What was the other telling trait?
Oh, what was the one that you recognized?
The voice.
Or that Beau recognized?
The voice?
Ste'yn caught sight of something else that was very interesting to her.
The gloves. Very much. She's seen those before.
I've been looking for a pair of
Colaine
really
has seen
nice
those before.
Ah, this is true. Ste'yn herself may not have seen them. But
She saw them through Colaine's eyes.
Colaine has in fact seen them, and then did not see much else beyond that. So, with the four of you, back in the heart of this ancient tree, as opposed to its depths, the air in this great chasm, just kind of as a reminder of where you are, the air within this great chasm, this tree, it's humid, as if kind of drawing air from the lake outside. The ground is still slightly dampened. The earth over that stone is compact beneath your feet. There are meager traces left of that slightly shimmering acid that was filling the chamber before, that had you running for your safety. I think all but Viola have some form of dark vision. You guys can see, yes. She can see with the light from her magical coin headlamp. But you see a little clearer. Along the wall you're now on, which was further from the entryway. So from the entryway, you couldn't quite see this wall clearly. But from where you stand now, as you look about, from this new angle, you can see that up the wall, there are a few of these shadowy areas that seem indicative of openings at varying heights above. And those walls continue to gleam with this some kind of liquid, like you had seen before as well. And with that flash of magical light now gone and your eyes adjusting back, you can see a single small glow, like a small ember, on the far, far side of the cavern near the location where that bright light had been. So it's now quiet again in this inner tree chamber. What would you like to do?
I was gonna start ritually casting Detect Magic.
Okay. That's 10 minutes, right? Or
Yeah.
11,
Yeah, it'd be
technically?
11, because it's one.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything anyone is doing while he is casting?
Ste'yn's gonna go check out that small glowing ember.
Okay. Now, Beau, are you standing still while you're casting?
I would start walking towards that direction.
Okay, just focused on the spell work.
Yeah. Oh, it is
Okay.
just 10 minutes. It's one action plus 10 minutes. Alarm is 11 minutes, because that's 1 minute plus 10 minutes.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
So,
Detect
66
magic.
seconds.
That extra 6 seconds, you just never know. Ste'yn, you're heading over towards the little light.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm learning to take notes. I wrote Ste'yn heading towards the light, and I would suddenly have a terrible feeling. Cool.
Not
Ste'yn,
that light, not that one.
She hasn't
Not
earned
yet.
that yet.
She hasn't earned it yet. Yes, you start walking in that direction. You can hear kind of the squelching of your feet into those damper spots in the ground. It just kind of sits around and sticks to your boots, but otherwise does not seem to impede you. On the far side of this chamber, you can see the ground here is just covered in more dirt. It almost looks like it's just more piled, as if further in, or further out, I should say, there was like a mix of like dirt and kind of stone, and also the knots from the roots of the tree. Here, it's just a lot. It's like inches of this dirt, and you can tell because you're making these deeper imprints with your boots as you get closer. You can see the light appears to be this lantern, a very simple looking lantern, a glass housing for a very, very low flame, as if it were perhaps not blown out well enough in a hurry. It's casting a small circle of light over the rest of the dirt that give me an investigation check, as you note what dirt is visible in the light.
We need to get Ste'yn a nap.
What?
A nap?
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think investigations are forte in general.
No, but guidance helped. That makes it a 15
There you go.
instead of a 19.
If only. You can see in the light of this like very low flickering lantern, you can see what appears to be an area where the dirt has been brushed away. Again, it looks very hastily done. It's brushed down to where you can see more of that stone, kind of just barely. But you do spot on this weathered and worn looking stone, you can see what looks like about a foot of ink in these kind of sigil looking pattern, this line of it.
Start brushing the dirt away to try and reveal more. Anticipating it being a large circle in shape.
You, in your fatigue that is quickly catching up to you after this entire day, or it's really just been a morning, but what a morning it's been for Ste'yn. So you're a little slow at it, kind of slowing down a bit too as you go, just everything catching up with you, but you start brushing that away. In the time it's taking you to get a decent way around the circle, Beau's magic and his concentration settle in place, and he can start sensing, spotting. Most prominently, right in front of you, Beau, you do see where Ste'yn has been clearing away this dirt. You can see this pinging light through your eyes, this magic aura. And you do spot what you can assume safely would be a teleportation magic. I forget what school that goes to.
Alright, well, Hera inform them that seems to be the circle.
Yes, I would presume then that this goes back to Gratimino, Andra.
So besides Jeremy, who was just using that circle?
That was the one who killed Kalain.
What?
Gloves.
Oh.
Don't think it's popular gloves.
I
Like
think
if
I
they're
know what I
all
saw,
working for the
and
same
I know what I
person,
saw again.
it could be uniform.
Not just the gloves, but the hands themselves. Those fingerless leather gloves are a bit telling.
But it just looks down at his own fingerless gloves.
They're very fine, very high quality, very supple, very...
Sorry, Beau, yours don't make the cut, I guess.
No, you're not a
Well,
murderer,
maybe I'll go
Kalain.
place mine with this.
Hey, more incentive to find them.
We probably should try to make haste back to Gratimino. So they're going back there.
Yeah.
Well, first we have to go to the Fireberg place.
Bolberg?
Furbolgs?
Furbolgs.
Bulbs.
I was close.
Whatever they are, we need to go back there. We also
And we
need to
should
stop and get that
probably-
wheelbarrow.
Oh, yeah. And whenever we get there, we should take a nice, long, restful night before we go anywhere else.
Do we have time for that? Is there time to rest?
Well, with teleporting, why not?
Do we actually know that we're going to be able to teleport yet?
He said he
Wait.
could. So if we want
Okay.
to believe them, then yes. We probably want
Well-
to check.
Yeah. Well, for now, let's get on the road back to the Furbolgs.
Dan, how much energy do you have for your more costly magic?
Probably... I think I could do about 2 more today.
Well, I have a potential idea that might need one of your spell sendings.
Quite a list
Let's
of people
hear
we want
it.
to send to.
Well, I
Yes,
don't
let's hear this idea.
I don't know exactly who to go to yet. I also intend to start a conversation with What's-Her-Face tonight.
Oh,
Well, I'm not going to say her name now.
I know, I said no.
Oh, well, I'm going to do. You cut out. I didn't understand what you said. So that's why I said that.
Maybe my heart of hearts heard her say, absolutely freaking no.
That's
I have.
asking for trouble to come upon the Furbolgs.
No, I'm not going to do it at the Fulberg place.
No.
They're also covered. I have an idea in mind, and I don't actually need your permission.
No, but I can stop you.
Why? Or how?
The how
Well,
is
she
my
can't tell you
prerogative.
how because then you wouldn't be able to get away from it.
But the why? Explain why you think it would be beneficial.
For
Contact her.
information. We have limited information, and we have a means to get more.
You think she'll tell you things?
Yes.
Freely?
Possibly not.
What
So how
information
do
are you
you-
hoping
I've
to
dealt
gain?
with fiendish people before. I know her language. I can do this.
I don't know that I like this idea.
I will point out,
What did you both say?
he wants to know what you want to find out. I was just going to point out that Ste'yn, you have talked to her too. So what makes
Yes,
you
and-
trust Beau less with that?
I'm not saying I was in the right to have talked to her. We know more now than we did. More about how she works, more about who she is, more about what her goals and ideals are.
So then second question from Snow, Beau, what information are you hoping to gain?
Well, we might be able to gain some intel as to if she even knows our location if we say her name.
I thought she proved that with the Hellhounds.
No.
Or the whatever things we fought.
Those lava dogs?
Mm-hmm.
We said her name then, but we didn't know how she found us. It could have been that she can see through our eyes when that happens, she sees our thoughts, or it just automatically pings.
Could be all of the above.
Yes, so we can weed that out. If I cover my eyes and get led someplace where I don't know where I'm at.
Is that
You want
really
us to
that
get you lost in the
useful?
woods?
It is useful to know how an enemy gathers intel.
I mean, at the time, weren't we just in the woods? How would she know where specifically we were in the woods if
'Cause
it was
I knew
only
where
that
we
she could
were.
see through? So then it couldn't just be through sight.
So it could be a factor, or me just knowing where we were could be a factor. If I don't know where we are, and I don't see where I am, there's potential she couldn't do that. And that's just one thing.
We know she's going to launch attack on Gratia. We know that's through the rubies.
Yes.
We know that we'll need to destroy rubies before we destroy the ruby. But
In which we don't know where the rubies are.
oh, you think she'll tell you?
She may inadvertently tell me. Saying we want the same thing.
I don't want to endanger people unnecessarily.
They won't be in danger.
You can't be sure of that.
Because we also don't know how we sever the connection.
Right, we should go and see if we're going to have a way to get to Gratia Minnow before we figure out anything else. Make
Yeah.
sure that that's going to be something we have at our disposal as we need. And
Mhm.
from there we can figure out what we'll do. Who is it you might want me to contact for you?
That'll
Somebody
de-
I know?
That'll depend on the conversation with her. I have a few ideas going on, and we will have some clarity later.
Which are, maybe we'll be more inclined to let you try and talk to her if you tell us your ideas.
They are premature ideas.
You want us to
Let's
trust you,
just
trust
go.
us.
It's not a matter of
I thought
not
we were already
trusting-
walking.
Oh, that wasn't made clear.
I said that. I thought I said that we would needed to just go ahead and go.
Yeah, but I didn't hear and we began walking, so I thought you were just making a statement of intent.
Agreed. I imagine you guys were having this great conversation
I'm best
By a
with walking.
by a teleportation circle.
We might could mention to the mage that there's a teleportation circle here, if that would make it easier. Perhaps just be activating it for us instead of needing to expend other magic.
Well, this wouldn't get us to Grati Minnow.
No, it would get us
Close.
Undra.
But maybe they have one that's closer. But
They
always
might.
a good
It's just
idea
an
to
option.
mention it. Okay, well, off we go. We're walking now.
Yes. To the wheel bell.
We're beginning the trek. Okay. That's all. There's nothing else you guys want to nothing else you need in the tree, and you guys are ready to head out?
There's only one magical ping that was mentioned, so it didn't sound like there was anything else to go look at.
There were those openings higher up on the wall.
But they did they ping?
Not for magic.
Yeah, then they're just openings. Openings are
Talking
openings.
about where Snow was shot.
Yeah, that's
I was gonna say,
this could be those
we got
like
shot at
defense
earlier.
things. Those castle defense slits.
It's up to you.
Viola wasn't interested in the holes in the wall.
They're just
Shocking.
holes.
She wants to go home and take a nap.
Are any of the holes in the wall low enough that like you could? How high up are they? Because we know that Beau can't really easily walk on these walls with the liquid that's on them. So if there'd be an easy way up to give them a peek or something, maybe. But if not, probably.
Yeah, it looks like the lowest. There's only a couple of them along the wall that you'd seen. As you moved and kind of went more central, you could see along the other side there's only another two. The lowest ones being about maybe 50 or 60 feet up.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's just throw Beau to it.
Just launch.
Robo the Bard.
Wow, callback. For those of you who don't know, please begin watching our campaign from the very beginning, which started over 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Wild.
Yeah, it was the
Anyway.
4th episode. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's David. He's our audio visual manager here at Tales from the Catacombs. Please show him lots
So
of
it
respect.
sounds
Please
like
love
we-
him and follow his
Sounds like
channel.
we're walking.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's up to you. So yeah, it's about 50 or 60 feet
So
high,
as we get
with
in the
that-
hallway, are we still hearing those dogs?
So you are out. You were in that that first area, which would lead directly out.
I had the doorway
Um,
right there out.
It was just
Oh,
a
okay.
doorway. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So are we hearing the dogs from where we are then?
you do not hear anything from where you
Okay.
are.
He's
So
going to
as you
have.
exit, oh, sorry.
Onward.
Oh, well, is there still the
Viola
magical
will lead the
darkness
way.
when we open or go? There's no door, so when we go through.
There is not.
Okay.
Yeah, you look back and start making your way back into the swamp proper, and you do actually still see that darkness. The darkness is still there, but you don't hear any barking, you don't hear any growling, you don't hear any dangerous sounds immediately from dogs or houndish creatures.
When you say the darkness is still there, so does that mean we can't see, or it's just that it's still dark?
No, it's just dark. Well, it's magical darkness. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
no,
it is
if you can't
still
see
there.
through magical darkness,
All right, then
no.
Beau will bring back out Claude.
Yay! We love Claude. Okay, you're gonna use him for eyes.
Yeah, I guess. Well,
Make a conga line.
he'll stretch out his hand back. He's having somebody's hand on his shoulder.
Oh, they're touching me. Oh.
And he'll lead them out the most direct path out of it.
Okay. Through Claude, you can immediately see there is just. I mean, it's just open, right? Nothing is pinging as groups and clusters of creatures at all, let alone dangerous creatures. You can see where you had made that dash, or you can sense, where you made the dash from the nearest set of trees, and it does not seem that he is impeded at all. So you are able to, through the dark, together make your way across. You don't appear to be impeded. You take a final step. Who is leading this line? It's
Beau.
Beau? That makes
Beau.
sense.
Beau.
Beau leading the conga line.
Actually, he'll just, instead of holding somebody's hand, he'll have them hold on to the. Wait a minute, let me find it. The staff of adornment. He has a use for it right now. He has that out behind.
Oh, it's like the buddy system instead of like a rope. They're holding onto a staff all together. You guys are so cute.
We're preschoolers.
Yes. Next time you're all gonna have leashes.
Listen.
Oh, you know what? When
You're too big for papooses.
they get to the end of it, Beau's gonna reach down and grab some of the leaves, and he's gonna have them floating on the tip of the staff.
Not the leaves again.
The leaves are around the staff of adornment. It covers them, so just a little darkness, a little cloud of darkness on the end of the staff.
So are you taking one of the leaves? You pluck one,
It
or
says
you take one
if
that's
you
fallen?
place a tiny object weighing no more than 1 pound above the tip of the staff while holding it, the object floats an inch from the staff tip and remains there until removed or until the staff is no longer in your possession. The staff can have up to 3 such objects floating. So he's just got 3 leaves floating on the top.
Yeah. So you pick up one of the leaves, but you note that the leaf that you picked up, it does not seem to be emanating any of that darkness as it is. But it will float, and you have this little leaf floating around your staff of adornment.
3
now.
of them.
As you step, you take 3 of these leaves, and you have them floating around your little staff of adornment. Give me a quick perception check. Once you are out of the darkness.
Like,
All of us
Also
are
a
just
wisdom
Beau.
save. No wisdom save. You're fine.
I hope it's everyone. I rolled a 2.
Were you asking
all
for
just-
everybody or just Beau?
Just Beau.
Oh, so that's 5.
Cool. You have 3 little leaves floating around your staff of adornment. And then all 4 of you eventually take that last step, and it's like walking through a curtain from dark into more of a gray than even a bright light. It's still a shift, and you kind of have to take a moment to blink and get adjusted to the stark difference in lighting. But it takes another moment or two, and you can kind of blink it away, and you're back among these lines of trees that were circling this enormous, vibrant lake. It is the brightest thing in this otherwise very dull gray area, in this dull gray part of the season.
Wonderful.
Are you guys going
we see
back the way
those-
you came?
Figured. We also need to
Yeah.
tell those lizard people that we dealt with the problem.
Do we have to? It's not like they were offering us something.
I mean, I want to prove to them that we did it because they didn't think we could.
I think,
But
I
like
presume we'll run
only
into them
if
as
we
head
see
out.
them. Yeah, that was kind of my thought. I mean, I don't want to go like looking for them.
All right, well, if they bother us on our way out, I guess we can talk to them.
Perfect.
You seem you were very eager to talk to someone earlier.
Yes.
Why not? The lizard people.
What do they have to offer?
Who knows?
Information.
There's a
They
good
couldn't even
chance
deal with
that
those
They
hounds.
worshipped the dragon, so keep that in mind.
We'll ask them about it.
I feel
And
like you're
that'll-
just
that'll
jumping
tell us
off
how to
of this them
proceed.
being lizard folk thing.
I mean, that does kind of track. Tell
Yeah,
me
they're
he's
not
wrong.
dragonborn.
We know that the dragon had worshippers.
Maybe they're just like distant cousins, okay? Like, twice removed,
Well,
that sort of
Very
thing.
removed.
if we have to take care of it, if we just beat a dragon, we could handle a couple lizard folk. If it comes to that, we're not going to seek that.
Right, well, we have a family heirloom to collect.
Where did we leave that, by the way?
Can't remember if it was before or after the lizard people. I'm inclined to say it was before we got to the
I
lizard
kind of thought it
people.
was before that we got. Yeah, I thought it was before too.
Yeah, because we
You
were walking by that point.
concerned- Yeah, you were concerned it wasn't going to quite make it
Mhm.
through the swamp.
Yeah.
Good, it might
Where
pop
you
the
left
tire,
exactly.
tire on its brambles.
Yeah. Where exactly you left it, I don't entirely remember. I hope it's still there. Anyway.
Onward.
The lizard people
Uh,
stole it.
Please no, please
And if you
no.
want
I
your
had that
wagon
thought,
back.
too.
Okay. Yeah. You start heading back the way you came towards the Furbolg colony, prepared for a small journey. It was a couple of hours of travel through the swamp terrain. But you don't get very far when I need you to roll a perception check for me.
Everyone this time?
All four of you, please.
Yeah, we're gonna add some guidance to that.
My god, it's 10.
Some
It's
wishful
basic.
thinking.
Not doing any better than last time.
Okay. That's a 25.
Okay.
I got a 15.
Okay. Snow's muted.
18.
18. Okay. As you're walking, you're going along the side of the lake, taking that curve around the trees, even the dull light seeming to flash and shine off of the surface of that water. And you start to come up to an area where the grass is a little bit roughed up. It looks like it's been, some of the blades have been either pulled out or just something looks like the area has been just been stepped on or something like that. And it doesn't take long to recognize that that is where the four of you had been when you were abruptly stopped by those lizard folk that crossed your mind. And you hear from somewhere unseen, I admit I am surprised. You're alive.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Did you know there was a dragon in that tree?
So you met Lilaric, the Flayer.
Yeah.
And you're alive to tell the tale.
Hmm. Tell me
And
what
what-
you
That
know
we are.
about him.
Well, tell me what became of him. Did you escape his clutches?
Well, I'm standing here, aren't I? Plus, I asked you first.
Beau reaches into his bag and he pulls out one of the teeth. that he-
Oh! Try not to let the cat out of the bag yet, dude.
and he just starts wiggling around in his fingertips like you would a coin.
As you are masterfully taunting the air with this dragon tooth, you hear a low chuckle, and then you hear the voice again. Little rogue, did you steal it, or did you kill him?
I killed him.
Well,
Technically,
technically,
I
it was a
killed
group
him.
effort of the two of them. And Snow got a good hit in once.
Beau looked pretty while we did the fighting.
Wait, do
So
we
he's-
see this person or we just are hearing the voice?
You just hear the voice.
But it's the voice from the lizard people from earlier?
One of the lizard people.
At least one of the lizard people.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to clarify, make sure I was on the same page as everybody else.
He says again, so, you've claimed your prize then too?
What prize? Killing a dragon is prize enough, isn't it?
I think he's talking about that tooth that Beau's wiggling around in his finger.
Oh. Well, we'll make a nice necklace one day.
It could. It could impress a number of people.
Like
But-
you.
I admit, I'm more relieved than impressed. Though to see 4 travelers of your sort come through and make it out alive, that is a feat in and of itself to be proud of. To not become one of his newest worshippers is your prize.
Yes,
But a
maybe if you
creature-
were strong enough, you could have been proud of it for yourself.
I have no need. We are content where we are. It's you who all had to worry. But
We weren't worried.
good. Good. Better that way.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you learn?
But there was a dragon in the wood.
Hmm. Fair enough. Well,
Was there more we should have learned?
there's a moment of silence. It drags on, and for a moment you're not sure if he's even still there. Until his voice comes back, and he says, no one in the light needs to deal with a beast like him. He should keep his own follies where he came from. One less problem for all of us. So to that I say thank you. And we can spare you for trespassing just this once.
Whatever.
That is a great kindness. We are very grateful of your sparing of us in this circumstance.
You're welcome. It would have been much worse had he stuck around. I suggest to add to your own prize of your own hero worship, it seems. Learn his story.
Learn his story.
Oh, yes. Quite a
What story is there?
Oh, I don't give strangers story for free.
Are you talking about all those pictures on the wall back in there?
Ah, that's a start. But he didn't have the time, I'm sure, to fully encapsulate just how highly he thinks of himself. Thought of himself.
Do you mean his delusion of godhood?
Yes. Anyone who thinks
We're more like gods than he is.
Isn't
Ah.
that blasphemy, Ste'yn?
Considering that he was nothing like a god, to say that we are more like gods than he is does not actually insinuate that we are gods, only that we are perhaps
Mhm. I am telling
closer
it
to understanding
all
what
that.
it means to be.
No.
quibbling among gods.
Well, we have places to be.
Is there anything of his story about why he claimed, or why he was under that delusion of godhood, that perhaps if you won't share the whole story for free, you might spare part of it for those who just did you a great service?
Please roll me a persuasion.
Anyone help her with it?
How
I'm
would
not
you like to
helping her.
Pity, please.
Sure, I'm amused. You can roll with advantage.
Great, because that was not going to be very good without the advantage. That is a 17.
Again, there's a long silence. Probably enough to frustrate Beau, who clearly has places to be, things to do, and evil gods to talk to. But before he can start moving you on your way, the voice again responds. He says, "That's fair. Tell me, did you see or look at any of the signs in his lair? Foliage or anything unusual about? Were you able to spot anything out of place?"
Spot anything out of place? You mean like the ring of darkness around his lair? Or the acid that was creeping through the mud as we walked into his lair deeper and deeper?
Or the teleportation circle in his lair.
I mean, that was also there.
There's a pause as you say that. And then he speaks, and he doesn't mention the teleportation circle. He does say, no, the darkness. Another stranger put that there. Well, if your eyes can't spot it, it's because you are good beings of light. It's when you're around things long enough that don't belong here, is when you'll see.
Right, now Beau's
Hilaric.
trying to remember if he saw something.
Lilaric the Flayer is not a creature of this plane.
Yes,
It
he's a
is-
midnight beast.
Oh, good. You did spot it. But, do you know where they come from?
From the dark.
Ah,
Deep in the dark.
very good. You seem familiar with the lighter part of the dark. Is that so?
I'm an educated person.
We've all had our dealings with it in the past, perhaps.
Well, then know that if he can get here, what else can? Who else can? And how?
Which came first, the darkness or the dragon?
The egg.
I understand the philosophical nature of that question. I was actually asking about a specific circumstance. In which case, was the darkness present around the tree before the dragon made its lair? Or was the dragon there first and the darkness followed?
The darkness around the tree? Oh, yes.
Around then?
Yes, that came after. That seemed advantageous to the ones who came through and left it. Changed the very face of my territory.
And how
for
long
it.
ago was that?
Many years ago. To
No.
your type.
Can you not count them?
I'm sure I could give you a precise number within the last 10, 15?
That's not long at all.
Oh, it's years. Comparative to a simple life. Seemed urgent. But the dragon seemed something advantageous to that one. Or so I'm told. I wasn't scouting this area at that time. But we do like to keep our eyes out on trespassers who have things
How
we
many-
can take.
How many trespassers have come through to go through that darkness, the tree?
Since then?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there have been a number of those furbolgs attempting it, but they never came back out. Do you mean the ones who were lucky enough to get out again?
Yes.
One.
One.
What did they look like?
Something else you'd like to share for more of this story?
What do you want to ask?
Oh, no. I don't need to know anything more about you, for I want what you have.
Which is
A lot. I know you just walked out of a dragon horde.
Well, how about this? We made civil with you. We just killed a dragon. I think we could take you on.
If you say so.
You want to challenge it?
Oh no, I'm quite bored of that.
Ste'yn's gonna
I
reach in
didn't-
her bag and grab a handful of gold and throw it at where the voice seems to be coming from.
Take a handful of gold, kind of chuck it as if it were like bird crumbs or breadcrumbs for birds. They lay there.
The description of the person.
Humanoid. Long hair.
What color?
Which time?
Was it the same humanoid each time, but with different hair colors?
Oh, I was mistaken. The hair stayed the same. The skin changed.
So what color was the hair?
Was it blue?
Blue hair. A friend of yours?
It was a
No.
female.
A female with blue hair.
When was the last time she came?
It's been a very long time. For her standards. Seems she's done what she wanted. Made this mess. And soon after she left, those midnight beasts were insatiable. I did say they were drawn to magic. Lilaric is powerful. He's a beast, no less. Not magic.
Well, that is all very good to know.
Did you happen to spot what might have interested those little midnight beasts?
I don't think we did.
Nothing? I'm sure even great heroes like you could see something very magical.
Well, we didn't catch up on any of the story and whatever magic you were talking about us seeing earlier, so we just must not be that observant.
If you are in fact lying, please give me a deception check.
No, I don't want to.
I technically
Can
she doesn't
I
know
help
of any
her?
magical item that we would have found. He's
Viola
expect-
doesn't?
Viola
hasn't-
does.
No, you know that we found a ruby key. We did not say it's magical.
Well, she's assuming it's magical, whether it was said or not.
Deception checks, please.
From
A
Us two?
10. And if I fail it, I want to use my inspiration if I can.
Feel free to use your inspiration.
that is a where's my modifier for that? That's not as good.
You do have to use the new roll too, Cassie. So I hope it was better.
That's a 15.
Wait, so is it everybody rolling or just those two?
Just those two.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So a grand total of 0.
Rolled a 2.
Wait, I thought you had a positive modifier for persuasion.
This is
Oh,
deception.
I do.
Oh, this
It's
is
a 3.
deception.
Oh, no, yeah, deception.
That's right.
No, deception's
Yeah,
not.
not persuasion.
No.
Wait, so if
Persuasion,
it's...
I do. Deception, I don't. It's -2.
I
It's,
see.
it's a 0.
Okay.
I was lying about us not being observant. That was the lie. We're very observant, but we still
Yeah,
missed
yeah.
it.
Yeah, totally. There's another lull, another short quiet, and he responds again. Well, pity, pity, pity. And yet the beasts are gone. So perhaps it's just our luck. Huh.
Yes, feel free to go pick up any scraps we may have left behind.
We might just do that. It is our territory.
Of course.
Well, I do, in fact, appreciate that you did us this little kindness. I would be mindful, little heroes, of who you help and when. Not to be so naive, running into danger you know nothing about. But good luck.
Thanks. Have a good day.
May the light be with you.
You don't hear a response again. Give me a perception check.
That's a 6.
19.
a dirty 20.
Oh,
Okay. In the exchange, at some point, the gold coins seem to have vanished. And you don't hear another voice again. So, you carrying on?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You guys continue on. Give me a survival check. Actually, all four of you give me a survival check.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
I got a 16. Finally a pass.
That's a
Or at least
16 as well.
Okay.
so it's 16.
Wow. Very,
I want to come to the party.
very even.
I
No,
know
you're fine.
has
You're
a
the belle of the
minus
ball.
4 modifier.
Okay. You're able to find your way back the way you came. You're mindful as you approach that bridge again. Anything being around. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything.
Before we got to the bridge, should we get the wheelbarrow? Because we did take the wheelbarrow across the bridge.
That is true.
I thought that's what
Yeah,
the
you
survival
followed the
check was for.
I was seeing how well you made it back along
Oh.
this relatively unfamiliar path, but no, thank you for reminding me. No, you don't in fact spot the wheelbarrow.
What? Even with Ste'yn's
Can we look around for
eyes?
it?
You can if you want to do an investigation check. You can look around. You can take the time.
Viola will look around for it.
It will
Oh,
take
we'll look
time
around.
to look. Sure.
I'll help somebody look around.
Okay. Well,
Who are you
Beau
helping?
has a 7 in investigation. Do you
Cool,
want to
take
say
some
help?
guidance. And
Okay.
I'll help you out.
Viola got a 14.
Okay.
So I got a 26.
Okay. You start looking. You're looking all over the area. It's a lot of squelching ground. There's large pockets of just muddy water. In some of those areas, it still kind of stings a little if you're in the water for too long. This area still feels like it is feeling the effects of whatever darkness or whatever acid that was just sickening the swamp in this area. You don't find tracks from this wheelbarrow. You can't find where you left it. You can't find it pushed. You can't find tracks that seem to have picked it up and carried it. If they were there, it seems the swamp swallowed them. But finally, Beau, what you're able to find is the various pieces of this wheelbarrow. You find 2 of the 3 wheels intact, not like, connected to the wheelbarrow, but the wheels themselves are not like damaged. They're just separated from the actual tool. You find somehow very cleanly cut in half. You find the wheelbarrow's actual bucket. So you find one half of the wheelbarrow's bucket, very cleanly cut, and you find the entirety of the handle side of the frame. You find that part together, but you can't find the other half that would have held properly the bottom of the bucket. But you found those pieces successfully.
Well, let's
we-
put it in the bag of holding.
Are there any animals nearby? Does Viola see any animals?
Viola, high or low?
Low.
Oops, fell out. Sorry. Yes, there are some birds that you seem to agitate a little bit as you get closer. They kind of flutter from one wilting branch to another of one of the trees nearby. Pause for a moment, but kind of look like they're ready to, at a moment's notice, flutter up to one of the taller, more sturdy trees.
Viola's gonna cast Speak with Animals, and she's gonna ask the birds,
About the bees.
no.
You know, literally that came up in conversation today, and I realized I literally have never heard that story before. I don't know the story of the birds and the bees.
I don't really know how they go together.
I don't either. It's a very confusing thing for me, as an adult.
Listen, it's just the storks, okay? That's all you need to know.
You would think they
I
would
much
pick
prefer the
mammals for
storks.
this demonstration.
Something akin to maybe no? Okay.
Viola goes over to the birds and she just says in like a soft voice, she's like, "Hello, would any of you have happened to have seen what happened to our little wheelbarrow here? Any information would be helpful."
Okay, Snow White.
She's
The
just
bird-
trying to live her princess dream, okay?
The bird kind of flaps its wings a bit like it's about to take off, and then it turns its head towards you with this look of recognition as you are speaking to it, and it is understanding you, and it just says, "You're in our space? You're in our space? What are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you here?"
We left this wheelbarrow here because we weren't sure it was going to make the journey. And then when we came back, oh,
Well, I think we could say it didn't make it through the journey.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Come home. Come home, John. Boop, 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 boop. Give us just a moment.
excuse me.
Otherwise, the screen looks funny. I
Mhm.
wonder if, well, thoughts out loud. Like, I wonder if there's something we can use that keeps everything in place. But that probably involves many various different captures. They're all technical things I don't know.
Weird. It must have been some sort of something because I
Wild.
did see there was like a little yellow exclamation point that
Yeah.
popped up.
Yeah, I saw that too. I just assumed just random, like standard various internet pings.
Oh, Josh is
Um,
restarting his computer. Should we take a
mhm.
break?
Yeah, do we want to just take 5 or 10 or however long?
We can do that.
Yeah,
And
that's
we'll end
fine.
up back at the Furbolg camp very soon anyway. So cool, while we are, you get the live fun action. Snow has no contribution for the wheelbarrow fiasco. We'll take a minute to bring
I
our
mean, if
party
he
back
has
together.
no contribution, I could probably
Just
fix
rearrange
this
the screen?
faster than waiting.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to do that, that's fine too. I don't care either way.
Yeah, let me do this.
As
I'll
long
just
as everyone is happy and nobody is like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah, no, that's good.
I'll just make.
I just got a text
second
message
scene.
from someone watching. It was like, you're handling the glitch gracefully.
Yeah,
Thank you, appreciate
We
that.
are
part of the course now.
We're
graceful
nothing if not
handling here.
graceful. It's because of
Exactly.
Ste'yn. Ste'yn taught us.
It's all because of me.
It's
She's
always
beauty,
because of
she is
me.
grace.
Oh wait,
Oh hey,
there.
She'll
And she
grace
can
you in
punch you in the
Okay.
face.
Then we don't need to worry about rearranging now.
Oh, hey, he's
Kyle.
back.
Yeah. We'll just let his screen pop back up.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh is a champion. Just want you to know that. He's a
Wonderful.
champion. He's the real champion here. It's not Ste'yn, it's
He
Josh.
is.
Don't tell Ste'yn I said
Ste'yn's
that, or she'll
technically
punch
not
me
a
in the
champion
face.
either. Viola's the champion.
true,
True.
true.
That is her
Very
subclass.
Very, very
This
true.
is true.
Anyway, thank you,
Um,
everybody. So, Viola, you were responding to the bird.
Yes. we were headed somewhere else, and we weren't sure that our wheelbarrow was going to make the journey, so we left it here for safekeeping. I apologize if we put it in your space. We didn't intend to do such things. But clearly someone has messed with it. I just didn't know if you happened to see anything happen.
I see a lot. I see a lot. I see a lot. Lizards, 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 lizards. They're big, they're mean, they're lizards, lizards, lizards.
Was it the lizards that came and chopped this thing up?
Lizards, lizards, lizards.
I'm going to take that as a yes.
They're mean. They're mean. They think it's their tree. It's my tree.
Ooh, you know what you should do? You should go poop all over their houses.
It's quiet and its wings are just fluttering rapidly.
Yeah, that's how you get back at them for being so mean.
Mean lizards, poop on their houses. And then he flies off.
Viola will
Was
reiterate
that an
to the group.
insightful conversation?
The lizards chopped it up, so I sent the birds to go poop on their houses.
Creative.
Well,
Thank
glad
you.
we got that sorted.
Okay, well, onward.
You guys-
Viola grabs a piece of the wheelbarrow and starts walking.
You have made enemies this day. You've started a war. Excellent. Take the pieces you have of the wheelbarrow and make your way back to where you presume and where you have seen that the Furbolg colony was or is. You go past that area where you had a brief fight with some bullywugs that had popped out of the water, and not much further down from there, you do see the shimmering air. You know that was where they had approached you the first time. And as you get closer to where that bridge is that crosses into that shimmering air, you are very quickly made aware of two beings that step out, come across this bridge. They are that same, 7 foot high, that bluish skin of those furbolgs. They are dressed in this scouting gear, you'd imagine, of their sort. It looks like it perfectly matches these deep, earthy tones in the swamp, and the patterns give the impression of this, caked on mud. They look very prepared for camouflaging and moving, despite their great height and kind of girth about them. When they see the 4 of you approaching, there's 2 of them that approach, and they nod, and a smile forms on their faces after they pull down these kind of bandana type things that kind of add to the camouflage. They smile, their big toothy mouths. They say, "Welcome back. You've made it. You're alive. Are you all right? Are you hurt?"
We're a little tired, but besides that, I think we're good.
That's excellent news.
To confirm, this
If
is the
you don't
guy that
mind.
greeted us last time, right? I don't remember
This
his
is not
name.
the same.
Okay, this is
No,
not.
they look different. They
Okay.
do look different.
So this is just somebody we
Um,
never interact with.
Yes, but they
Okay.
appear to know you. There's 2 of them that you have not yet interacted with.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Nope. Those were old notes. I have updated notes for myself. There's 3 of them, one of whom you recognize. You recognize the one that you were introduced to by the couple, Dakin, the
Wizard?
scout. Yeah, the scout with some intellect with magic, enough that it suits your needs. He introduces the other 2 who are with him, some fellow scouts of his. He introduces you, one who has also kind of reddish hair on him. This is Perkin Yuravish. The other one beside him, he says, this is Nehorn Yethito. We're glad to have you back.
Right.
Uh,
Did you figure out how to do the teleporting for us?
Well, it's nothing I need to figure out. I know how. It's a matter of when I can.
Okay. Do you
When
know
can
when
you?
you can?
I'll be able to first thing in the morning for you.
All right. And actually, we have a new spot we want you to send us to.
Oh? Well, let's discuss it inside, shall we? Let's
Sounds
get
good.
you the rest you need.
That sounds
Come along.
wonderful. Thank you.
Excellent. And he kind of excitedly ushers you back onto the bridge. You step through the shimmering air and, like walking through a thick cloud, on the other side, you come back and you are nested within this warm feeling, but still very swampy, Furbolg colony. You can see where the trees are holding up some of the buildings, the bridges that lead up and around through them. And you can see the familiar guest hut where you had stayed before, the hutch. And you are led back there to sit down, get settled. As you guys are brought inside, the two scouts you just met stay outside the door. Dakian comes inside, and he asks you as he expects you to start settling. He asks, "Were you successful then? Were you able to stop the trouble?"
Yes, those beasts are gone.
And there's this relief. His shoulders just seem to melt with relief as the words leave your mouth. This tension that you didn't even realize, and it's gone. And his smile only grows. So, how did you do it? What
We
happened?
killed a dragon.
What?
There's a dragon inside the tree.
Inside the ancient tree? A
Inside the
dragon,
ancient tree.
you say?
Yes, big, black. Called Self-Lilurk.
Something about flesh.
Good now.
Something about flaying.
Oh, flaying flesh. They go hand in hand.
He's right. That does sound like something a dragon would say or call himself. Why was he there? What did he want?
He wanted to worship us.
Worship.
Claimed to be some sort of deity. But he's dead now.
I never heard of a dragon acting like that before. They hoard things, sure. Every dragon has his way, but I've never heard of one that wanted to be a deity, god.
Now, do you know Grati Minnow?
Of course.
So if we wanted to get teleported there, you could do that.
Well, if there is a teleportation circle that goes there, I'd have to connect to one.
Can you not
Right.
just send us to a general area?
Connects to a circle. Connects to something that exists. Oftentimes you use them for traveling to either something you know is there, or a major city, or something of that sort. Other people create them on their own, but obviously those are harder to find if you don't know that they're there. If you have one in mind, and I can learn the circle pattern, I can take you. Maybe there's a spot near where you want to be that I could help with.
How far
Anything I
away
can
is
help
that
with.
cottage? Or the little hut thing? How much of a distance
You're
is
talking
that?
to us now?
Yes. He's staring over at you guys.
ignores the other guy.
It's just a few hours. Wasn't much. Especially when we take the path correctly.
Well, that was when we also had a horse.
I mean,
The
the
horse
first
does
time.
not increase the speed very much.
Well,
And the first time we had Buttercup, and while I love her, she is not the speediest of girls.
I hope
Holding a
Buttercup's
cart only
okay.
makes us go slower,
Don't-
Don't
actually.
even do that to me, Bren. It's not funny.
I'm having
so
a
if
good
I
time.
give you the kind of sigils and stuff like that from a circle, you can cover it or handle it.
Are you talking to me again?
Yes. Just assume that he's moving his head back and forth between the view.
Yes, if you give me some time, I can study it, I can learn it, I can get you there.
Okay, because Beau did make it when he did detect magic on it when they were inspecting the area. So he will show him that page in his spellbook.
Perfect. If I can copy it, take some time, and then I can be ready for you in the morning.
That would be great. Very
How
much
early are you?
appreciated.
Absolutely. For what you've done for us. And to make it back alive is a celebration in
What
itself.
about at first light? Which I'm
I'd be
guessing
happy
is like
to.
6-ish. I don't know if they actually use time, like number.
Give me a chance to make the source book, and it'll be perfectly clear.
But in his mind, on our end, he's thinking 6.
When the sun... when the sun rises, should be a good time to go.
Also, for
I
our
can be
knowledge, what
awake.
time in the day is it right now for them?
You're looking probably at the time to get there. You guys left basically first thing?
Yeah.
Well, no, you were a little
No,
delayed
we
because
slept
Ste'yn
in.
was asleep.
Yeah.
Who slept
It
in?
was like
It
we,
was
well, a
late
lot
in
of us
morning
took the
when we
morning
left.
slow.
I
Yeah, it was
know,
late in the
but
morning.
Ste'yn
when we
was
left.
very, very sleepy.
I feel like we left
Yeah.
at least before noon, but probably not horribly
You definitely
early.
left before noon. I'd say it's probably mid-afternoon by this point. Heading towards that evening break. But yes, he agrees that as soon as you're ready, he will be ready. He will not have his scouting shift tomorrow. He'll be prepared. He also tells you, he says, Pernorin was eagerly awaiting to hear your safe return, to hear the story of what happened. We all are. I think he wants to make sure you get to be properly celebrated. So, whenever you're ready, if you head to him, I think they should be expecting you.
You're a scout here, right? Or something?
Yes, that's one of the things I do to help.
So is that part of the defenses of this area? Or do you also have, like, guard? Or is it just scout-based?
We pull a double duty there. Yes.
Okay, well, when we were leaving, there's a chance that somebody may have noted us and might not like that we killed their dragon. So, is it possible to increase the guard for the night? Just in case.
I think we can do that, if you're very concerned. Thank you for the warning. Not everyone, I suppose, would want to hear that their god had been killed by great heroes of the light. Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Not nearly as much as we do. Well, I'll leave you to getting ready and resting or whatever you need. But when you're done getting settled back in, Pernorin said he'd like to see you. He'd like to hear what happened. Just lots of thanks he wants to give.
We will make sure we do so. We'll make sure we go to him when we're ready.
Thank you for that. Rest up. If there's anything you need, you can pull any one of the scouts you might see around that are inside. Maybe don't go back outside if you're bothering people and their deities. He nods and starts heading out the door. Heads out the door. Okay. So what are you guys doing?
The guest hut is still nicely decorated from Snow's spell, correct? Okay, just making sure.
Was that...
It's
Yeah.
permanent unless it's dispelled.
What did you do to it? Remind me what it looks like now.
He put up a lot of illusions of lights and like he decorated it like it was for a festival, essentially, because they were missing the actual festival. So
Mhm.
there's lots of little lights and floating colors and little banners and tassels and little decor.
Then please include in that interaction that Dakian notes that is a very unusual sight for him. He was not in this hut clearly in the time you were away, and he enjoys it. He doesn't comment on how it got there, but if it makes you happy, it makes him happy. What are you guys doing?
Beau, don't you need to see a man about a cart? Viola will hold up the piece that she's carrying.
Well,
Actually, I might be busy later.
Beau, I can do it for you if you're too embarrassed.
don't actually know his name.
But do you know where he might be? Where did you meet this man?
I remember he was in a house. And
So look for one of those.
it looked farmy.
Perhaps
Okay.
you could show Viola and she can go and actually handle the conversation part of it.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we
Surely
go-
you know which area.
Well, why don't we go and talk to what's-his-face that wants to meet with us?
Bernoran.
Yeah.
You don't want to rest up or anything any further?
We already short rested before we left, so
Yeah.
what other rest do we have?
Oh yeah. You don't need to roll those hit dice no more.
All right then. Unless there's something we need to do in here first.
Nope. Let's go.
And it's off to be celebrated.
As I deserve.
And if on our way I see Farmer Man, I will address him.
You could tell him it was instrumental in the
Perfect.
defeat of the dragon that was terrorizing the swamp.
Yeah, let him go out in a blaze of glory.
Exactly. A little bit of exaggeration might go a long way.
So as they're heading to the Paranorians, does he see the farmer? I guess.
As you are making your way back to Pernoran's home, you see that there are a lot more people than you saw before. It was much quieter in the morning. People seem to be gathering in clusters. There seems to be a kind of just a kinetic energy just in the air. Things feel exciting. It kind of reminds you of how Grazimino felt as you were leading up towards the Harvest Lamps Festival. Give me a perception check, Beau. As you were the one who saw him.
Oh, now
I
I
never
roll
want to roll
well.
poorly, so-
19.
Yeah, before you, or further down from where you're about to turn to get to where Pernoran lives, you can just kind of make out this more active area down one of the bridges, leading towards like the, what was it, that little, what's the word I want? Like the area where, like shopping and such, the
Market?
little
Like that
Square?
little
town
marketplace.
center?
Yes. Yeah. That one. Thank you. Words. And kind of right on the edge of that area, you can see this group of furbolgs, and one of them is definitely the one that you had bought or leased, rented the wheelbarrow from. And he seems in high spirits. looks a little bit dirty, like maybe he had been doing some planting or something while y'all were out in that time. He just is kind of leaning on like a large shovel, chit-chatting with somebody. You do see him.
I see him. How much of the wheelbarrow did he fit into the bag of holding when he was trying to? I don't know how much of it would have fit from your description.
Probably just the wheels.
What
Viola
about the
grabbed the handle
handle?
part. Viola's carrying the handle part. She grabbed it and has been walking with
Okay.
it.
Beau would take
A
the
real victim
handle
here.
thing from you, and I guess her asked to borrow the bag of holdings for the other bits. If Ste'yn will part with it, I think we may have
But
lost.
Ste'yn
no,
doesn't have it.
Oh, I
Snow
thought you.
does.
Oh,
Snow
I
has
thought.
it.
I
Snow
thought
has
Ste'yn
the
had the
bag
bag
of
of holding. Oh,
No,
okay.
No.
Snow has
that.
it.
Ste'yn.
Well, I
Ste'yn
remember there
bought
was a
the bag
time
of
that she
holding.
was like
I think
wearing it
Ste'yn
because
bought
she.
it, but
Well, there was a time where it was described as her wearing it because it was like a.
I'm
I
sure
don't
they've.
know.
I wouldn't be surprised if at some point she was the one holding it or whatever.
But no,
Yeah, I
Snow's
just
had it for
remember
a
in one of the
while.
edits that she was wearing it. Then I asked Snow for it.
Didn't go very well with her fashion, so she gave it to Snow because
Yeah.
it matches more his
Oh
aesthetic.
yeah. She bought it, and then she's like, "This is not my memento mori look. This is way too." I keep forgetting the names of my own seasons. It's way too that. Next,
it's way too that.
It's way too
Mm.
Ember Bloom.
Meanwhile,
That's
Snow
spring.
has
Ew.
used disguise self to make himself look like Ste'yn, and he's just like being very flouncy and like tossing his hair a lot because Ste'yn has been very arrogant today.
this is what you look like, and it's fabulous.
Exactly.
Ste'yn just tosses her own hair.
Everything
Winning.
Ste'yn does, Snow does in a much more exaggerated fashion.
Beautiful.
But yeah, he'll give you the pieces, whatever you put in there.
Couple wheels,
Okay.
like
And then
yay big wheels.
he'll take them over to that guy.
You head over. He seems to be mid conversation. Something about some crop that he was struggling with previously. Seems to be doing well.
Snow follows behind Beau, by the way.
Looking like Ste'yn.
Sure.
Love it. Go for it.
Does he notice Beau as Beau gets closer?
He does not appear to notice you immediately. Seems to be deep in conversation.
Sir? Mr. Farmer.
For how close you are, it's that seems to get his attention, and he kind of turns, but he's still just like a solid head above you. So he's not even looking at you until he realizes no one is there, then looks down and sees you. He smiles. Hello. Welcome back.
I just kind of gestures his arms with this stuff in.
Oh, I see. And what happened here?
We were fighting a dragon.
A dragon.
Yes, and it saved someone's life.
Yes, we would not have survived otherwise.
Well, tell me where does a dragon fit in our little swamp?
Well, in a big tree.
A dragon in a great big tree.
Snow uses Major Image to show the huge ancient tree, and then you have this like zoom in moment where you see the dragon inside the tree, and the dragon is spitting acid. Meanwhile, Ste'yn is huddled halfway underneath the wheelbarrow, but the wheelbarrow saves her from the acid blast.
And in fact, in your recollection, as you create the image, right, you do remember that this dragon was spitting his acid in these straight lines like a jet, and that jet just sliced
Right
that
through it.
wheelbarrow in half.
Yeah.
But Ste'yn was protected because of it. That's magical. Do you have inspiration already?
I do, thank you.
Dag. I don't know what to
I'll
give you
take
then.
more.
Beau doesn't
Give it
have
to
I wish.
any.
me. I
I wish I
used
could.
mine.
We'll just start stacking
just-
it like bennies. It's fine.
Yes.
That's from Savage Worlds, which you'll get to see more of starting next month. But not that actual game, but a different game. Sorry, I didn't mean to get you excited about the wrong game, but other games get excited. But no, we'll keep to the rules as they are for Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, guys. Yeah, there is a look of recognition that you noted when you created the image of the tree, and from there, he just seems to be nodding along with the story. And he says, well, I'm glad that old thing went to some good use then. Luckily, I've got 10 more of them. That thing wasn't very much, but I'm glad you could use it.
Thank you.
Thought it was a family heirloom.
Viola, just take the win.
This is amazing.
But we're all glad that you're back and you're well. And if you ever need to use one of my wheelbarrows for fighting off any other beasties, please let me know.
Are
I'll get
those
some more.
wheels out of the bag?
Yeah.
Where are they? Are you holding them?
Well, he
You
had
better.
them gestured out to him, so I guess he's just gonna put them on the ground now.
Viola takes one and throws it at him, but like very lightly. Just kind of like, like rude. She's upset that she was lied to.
I mean,
Didn't know she was here.
she never talked to him before.
He just watches this
She
wheel
heard it through the
kind of bounce off his
grapevine.
chest. What? Why?
Because you told us it was a family heir. We told him it was a family heirloom.
Is that what I told you?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, well, if I did, I was absolutely joking. It's just an old
Rude.
wheelbarrow. I mean, I like my. They're good to have. You don't want your wheelbarrows just going missing. But I can always get more.
Rude.
Well, this one certainly served its purpose.
This one's going up in the guest hutch for all our new guests who come through here. Anyone who is seeking some respite from the swamp, they'll know that some real heroes came through here. We don't get a lot of those coming through a swamp. Not that make it out anyway. But that's one of the reasons that we're here. Make sure that if you at least make it as far as we are, or if we spot you, we can keep you safe for a little while.
Mhm.
And we
Well,
appreciate
we
that.
have a pair to talk to, so we'll be seeing you.
Well, hopefully we'll be seeing all of you later. We're glad you're back.
Thank you.
And
Sorry, I think my internet was cutting out for a second. I don't know if I
Are you
missed
going
anything.
to walk around looking like me all day?
Maybe.
All right. You could try swinging your hips a little bit more when you walk.
Oh, good grief.
Snow makes himself. Actually, hold on. Yeah, Snow makes himself 1 inch taller than Ste'yn. You could try being a bit taller.
I mean, she
But
can
no,
fly.
you had a height complex.
Oh, I just assumed you did because you think so highly of yourself.
I am pretty great.
Just pats her on the back.
Oh, let's go find Penorin.
So you make your way back. It's very easy to spot his house. The door is open, and before you're even very close, you already smell the wafting scent of cooking foods. And it doesn't, to Beau's probably happy surprise, it does not smell like fishy. It smells like meaty, whatever it is that's being cooked in there. And as you get closer, you can hear metal on metal of pan and spatula scraping and flipping and turning. And it opens the door, like through the door you can see the kind of living area, and you see a tall furbolg lounging, kind of basking on a sofa. The door open, letting in a bit of a breeze, kind of letting out some of the heat from the cooking. And he turns his head and sees the four of you approaching. He springs up from his seat, rushes to the door. He moves so quickly and he is so tall, you're kind of worried for a moment he might just topple over. But he runs towards you, kind of pauses at the doorway to just look at the four of you. His mouth is wide with an exuberant smile, and he just exclaims, "You made it back! You're alive! Was it all a success? Did everything go well?"
Yes.
Pretty good.
You're so calm. You did us such a service. If you were a success, well, come in first. We wanted to make sure that we got you a right celebration. For the one thing you've done for us, and it's a huge thing, and you had no reason other than just kindness to do it. So, thank you.
We're very grateful to have been allowed to help your community in such a way. You seem to do a lot of service to those who come here.
We told you we had something we wanted to investigate. It's not like it was pure kindness. We had our own reasons for going.
That's fair. And if you could help us along the way and take that time, well, that just makes you all the kinder.
We're very happy to help.
And we're very happy to party tonight.
Oh, absolutely. You've not even seen the half of it. Oh, I knew.
There's more people in this place.
Probably about 35 of us total. It's our little colony, our little people. But when we have something to celebrate, we will hold nothing back. So, first I want to make sure you have some proper food. Please, if you'll come in, if you want to eat, if you want to rest, if you want to... Whatever it is, whatever you need, we want to make sure you have it. Is there anything I can get you to start?
Do you have any alcohol?
Yes. And there'll be more later. I promise you that.
Perfect.
Love a good
All
drink.
good parties start with a good drink.
So he invites you inside. His wife is appears to be finishing just resting some foods. There is a stack of dishes that look prepared to be set out for the table. And if you are interested in that and having a proper sit-down meal, she is prepared in a moment to plate and set down and have you sit at the table with them. But they also look prepared to kind of let you go wander wherever it is you need to do. So in this time, and while you're inside, Pernoran tells you he was very certain you guys would make it back. He wanted to have a feast in your honor. He's spoken to the others in the colony, and they all agreed that this was absolutely a moment for celebration. So they intend to decorate what they can in such short notice and celebrate. Every building will have some type of food for you. There are people ready to just shout your names from the rooftops, and that is their intention for the evening. So, what would you guys like to do while you have this evening of celebration for yourselves?
I would like to leave.
He just wants to go. He just wants to get out.
Soak it all in.
Besides party stuff, Viola would mention, now that we've got all this extra gold, potentially a weapon upgrade could be good for her.
Okay. They tell you that they have some things. They're not sure it's going to be better than some beautiful sword like you have.
That's kind of what she figured, but she figured she'd mention it.
They're a pretty simple people. Is there anything else in particular anyone would like to do?
Are there families in this colony with kids? Or is it just adults?
There's not many, but there are some. And the children are in the center of the market area, where it seems to be the main area they focus their decoration. Lights, music playing, the drinks are aplenty. And then there's this little group of like kids dancing and playing games, and small little group. It's like 4 or 5 of them.
Snow will play and dance with them for most of the evening.
Okay.
Sing them songs and tell them stories and whatever.
Okay.
Looking like himself, by the way.
Dang. How unfortunate.
He does drop this guy's self, except that he makes the tips of his silver hair look a frosted blue, just for funsies.
Fun. Okay. Cool. No, it's playing music, but wants to go home. Ste'yn, is there anything particular you would like to do this evening?
She is just walking around. She'll make conversation with people. She'll tell the story of how everything went down. Just things like that. Being her very charismatic self.
Okay.
But she probably will not stay out super late, because she is sleepy.
She is less sleepy. They definitely try to encourage you to stay up, to tell them more details. They want to know everything that happened. They want to know why it was dark. They want to know why the inside of a tree, of the ancient tree, looked as it did. Everything you found in there. How a dragon's lair can fit under a tree. They are just bombarding you with questions. How truthfully you answer those questions, or how much you...
She gives a little exaggeration and elaboration sometime.
Excellent.
Because what's a good story without some of that, you know?
Yes. And Viola, are you mainly just looking for... Were you just kind of hopeful if there were any weapons, or is there anything?
She'll ask around, but as soon as... Because she's assuming that they're not going to have much there, but she was like, you know what, it's worth the ask. But once she kind of hears that there's not a lot, she's going to run around and chit-chat and have a few drinks and live it up.
Excellent. It's the one time they're like, we're not going to play a drinking game. It's fine.
Yeah, Beau took a drink, he didn't get any food, and then he went back into the guest house to hide out.
Okay.
But then at a certain point, when because he still wants to have that conversation, he's going to try and, I guess, probably find Ste'yn
Right.
amongst the crowd.
I mean, she's probably walking back to the guest hut, not
Okay, so then
too
maybe,
late.
as she's, maybe they'll cross then.
Yeah.
I know you're not a fan of the plan, but are you willing to help?
I don't help you, you're still going to do this.
Yes.
What sort of help are you looking for?
Well, if I want to test the sight and knowledge aspect, I would need you to guide me someplace while I don't look.
You want me to
Beyond
blindfold you?
that, if, say, I got smited during the conversation, a little pick-me-up wouldn't go amiss.
If you're going to be stupid, you might as well not be stupid alone. Alright. Can't wait to say I told you so.
All right. Well, then he'll close his eyes and he'll spin in a circle a little bit, and then he'll hold out his staff so that way he's nice and dizzy and ready to be led somewhere.
He's literally doing the baseball on the
Oh, I didn't even think
ground,
about
and
that.
you spin in a circle. Okay. So just real quick, for time frame. So the two of you guys left the excitement early to go do this, or this is at the end of the okay.
Well, Beau just grabbed a drink and he skipped these.
Ste'yn probably stayed for a couple hours and then would have headed back because
Okay.
she just can't really party all night tonight.
Any other night, I would have been fine.
Mhm.
I'm exhausted, literally. Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I knew when we were and where you two were and then where the other two were. Okay.
Never too exhausted to talk to an evil deity.
Mm-mm. Mama taught her better. Or not. Okay. Sorry. Carry on.
Well, he's letting her lead him out of the place, I guess, somewhere. I heard.
So you're okay. So prior to leaving the confines of the Furbolg colony, I imagine you're gonna make yourself dizzy once you're outside already and then head out.
He was doing it from where they were, so he doesn't know the direction that they're leaving.
Okay. At the entrance of the colony, there is another two. It's the same two of those scouts from earlier, without Daki in there. They see you approaching, ask if you need any assistance with something.
I don't think we need any assistance. We're just trying to get away by ourselves for a moment.
Yeah, get some fresh air. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather.
A little bit dizzy.
He has some sweat coming down him.
There's not going to be much fresh air, I'm afraid, in a swamp. But
it's just what we need at the moment.
He's eyeing you, Ste'yn, and your phrasing, and he's just looks between you and Beau, back at you, back at Beau for a moment. He nods, and the one who
I mean, if you
was
need more
introduced-
explanation, I can definitely tell you some more explanation, but I don't think you necessarily want more explanation.
The one who was introduced to you as Herkin, there's this flush that comes over his cheeks. The other one, Nahorn, kind of starts laughing and says, honestly, on a night like tonight, it would just be part of the stories, wouldn't it? But
Exactly.
no spoils for the stories. We can't keep you here, just warning you, if you're gonna go out late, it could be dangerous. You're heroes, you can handle yourselves, but if you're sure you want to go out this late.
Oh, we're sure.
Right.
He's just smirking so hard. and he says, Oh, all right then. Well, if you, one of us will stay on the outside of the bridge and just make sure that anything in the direct area isn't bothering you, or us, or if you've made some enemies out there. We just want to be some extra backup for you. So if you need that, don't go too far, but feel free to
Understood.
hide yourselves.
Thank you.
He'll let you two pass. He
Ste'yn
kind of
just-
follows behind the two of you.
Pulls Beau along.
You you cross through the cloudy air that is hiding the Furbolg colony. The two of you come out, and Nahorn is a few steps behind you, just until the edge of the bridge. And then he kind of just parks himself, has a kind of routine, just marking the area in the current region, but he doesn't stop you from continuing. So how far do you guys want to go out?
As far as Ste'yn leads him.
Ste'yn, how far
Not
would you like to go
too
out?
far. She spends a little while like going a few feet and then backing up and like making a circle and then
I thought she was watching this.
He's like, young love. Okay. Yeah. You're able to kind of guide him a bit along the path that you're kind of familiar with. Kind of towards the area where whatever that portal was that let you out of the Fey realm, in that direction. Turn a bit and keep going. Give me a survival check, Ste'yn.
They get lost.
Beau falls down
Beau
a fissure.
Beau cannot help
That's
unless he
not bad.
wants to make it super disadvantage.
it's a 16.
16? Okay. Yeah, you're out of sight of the Furbolg colony at this point. Maybe a half mile from the area.
Ste'yn's going to lead Beau right up to a tree that's nearby, and she's going to gently, as she's holding one end of the staff, she's going to push him back into the tree as she takes a dagger from her bag and holds it to his neck and asks, "Before you do anything as idiotic as this, I need you to explain in detail what you hope to gain. Or just admit if you're working for her and trying to bring her here."
I'm not working for her, and I would advise not getting too close.
I'm not afraid of you.
You're quite exhausted.
I don't care about that. I'm not afraid of you.
Okay, well, I still advise giving me some space, please.
I need my question answered first.
Can you repeat it?
What exactly are you hoping to gain from this?
Information.
Information that is worth risking your life, my life, and the lives of
Yes.
everybody here.
Yes.
What do you think? How
Information
is this going?
is useful. I am.
How is this going
was-
to help us beat her in Gratima now?
I'll know when I get it. Sometimes you just need to go out and try and get the information, and then figure out what you
I've
can use
done
it
that
for.
and it's failed.
That was you. Like it or
I
not,
think you'll have so
Ste'yn,
much better luck.
Yes. I've done this before.
You successfully coerced information from a goddess before.
I've successfully coerced information out of hundreds of people. She's no goddess.
I'm arrogant, but so something for me to tell you when you're being arrogant.
I have experience. You have dumb luck.
You're being an absolute idiot. And I'm your friend, and I'm warning you not to do this.
I think it will be helpful.
You still haven't told me how. How will knowing exactly how she figures out someone's location
That's just
be a
one
boon to
part
us?
of it. We don't know where
What
people
else
are in
do
the
you want to
city.
get from her?
We don't know where the rubies are, for example. There's lots of information. Right now, we're just gonna show up at Grotty Minnow and hope everything just works out.
I mean, I don't think she's going to tell you anything useful.
I think she will, with the correct incentive.
What incentive are you going to offer her?
I'm not going to offer her something specifically, but we do have something we believe that she wants.
So you
Which
want
is-
to tell her that we have the
She
ruby?
probably already knows. Jeremy saw us leaving.
It doesn't.
They know the dragon's killed. It's not a far leap.
So what, you're going to offer her the ruby?
I am going to use it as a means to confirm its use. It's not
You
100.
don't think the fact that it's a magic ruby shaped like a key, and one of the things that we found listed on papers concerning her is enough indication that it's something of use?
We have a lot of information indicating that it has some use, but we don't have it confirmed. If I mention that we have it to start the conversation, I feel like the mere fact that she continues the conversation, which is completely optional for her, is
Are you
also
willing to
helpful.
have the blood of the Fairbow colony on your hands for the sake of this conversation?
They're going to be fine.
You cannot guarantee that.
They have increased defenses for the night. They already have defenses,
They have
and they have
increased defenses.
us.
They have scouts.
And they have us.
Yes, and we're tired.
You don't think we can handle some dogs if she sends them our way? Or
The
even
word is
better
going to be
yet,
more than dogs.
if she sends us a ruby, that's all the better.
We're not prepared to take on a ruby tonight.
Only if you're thinking that they're all as strong as the sword. Right now, that's the only one. Oh, and I guess the shield.
I don't have reason to think otherwise. I'm warning you not to do this. I cannot stop you. I have half a mind to try.
I feel I need to do this.
I think you're being an absolute idiot. And I really hope I don't have to say I told you so when this colony ends up destroyed. And she's going to back away. And she's going to return to the colony.
It is easy enough for you to find your way back. Even in the quickly darkening swamp.
She looks
And-
mad.
Nahorn sees you approaching alone, has a very questioning look on his face, but doesn't
Don't.
ask you.
She still has a dagger in her hand. She realizes that and quickly puts it away.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything to you. You go past him. You do hear briefly, as you're entering through the cloudy mirage, you hear a brief little, "Dang, I thought that would work. Guy's missing out." You probably told her to calm down. back amidst the swamp, where Beau does not know where he is precisely.
He doesn't even know she really left. His eyes are closed.
I mean, she has disadvantage on
Yeah.
stealth checks.
Oh, so I guess you would have heard the clicking as she walked off.
You almost certainly would have heard. You felt the dagger leaving your throat, her kind of push away from you, and you could hear the squelching of her boots. I don't think she was trying to hide that she was leaving you there.
Okay, then that works.
So you are there, Beau, alone, up against a tree, with your eyes closed somewhere in this swamp. You think. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows which
so
way?
he'll slide down the trees, that way he's at least sitting.
Okay.
Then I guess he'll just say it and think it at the same time, in case one of them is better for contacting her than others. Musine, I would like to talk to you. We have your ruby key.
As you're saying this, what is on your person right now? As far as, like, is there anything in your hands? Is there anything in your
I mean, he has a staff
bag or
on
anything
him.
like that? That is not in the bag of hold. The bag of hold. You don't have the bag of holding.
No.
Mm-mm.
That's right.
I mean, he has a lot of stuff, none of them that go back to her, but he has a lot of stuff on
Okay.
him.
Just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. You think and speak this half threat, half suggestion.
Well, he was aiming for more requests than threat.
We've got your key. Show up.
I would like to talk to you.
Oh, how kind of you. Okay. You sit there. It's just very quiet. You just kind of hear the sounds of creatures in the swamp for a few minutes. You don't sense or kind of hear or feel anything else.
Okay, then we'll keep saying it until something happens. If it's a Bloody Mary,
Like
Mary
Bloody Mary?
situation.
Bloody Mosine, Bloody Mosine, Bloody Mosine? Okay. You keep going. You keep saying it over and over and over. And how long does he keep saying it?
Oh, he's
As
waiting for a
nothing seems to happen.
response.
Nothing seems to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just keeps saying it.
Okay. Keeps going. You're probably sitting there just saying her name over and over and over again. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Say 15.
Okay. You keep saying the name. You keep saying the name. You say it with a request. And just as there's this part of you that is thinking, did you miss something? Is something off? Is something, whatever the case may be. You feel something almost poking at your mind. And your kind of gut reaction is to kind of protect yourself. You just get this feeling of like not letting something in. Is your initial reaction. But you remember what it is you're trying to do, and you felt that prying. You say the name again, and you can feel that. It's gentle. It's not like it's trying to force its way in, but it's this gentle kind of poking. Every time you say it.
Is it eventually going to say something to him?
Give me an insight check.
That is an 8 or a 10.
8. Is that if you scratch your die?
Yeah.
Scratch your die. The poking against your mind feels gentle, as if it itself is entirely carefree, but will not just walk in. It appears to be waiting for some kind of just notable, not just calling, not just saying, but actually opening the door. And it's just waiting right outside.
Okay. Can he open the door, I guess?
Give me another wisdom saving throw.
That is a 10.
Okay. That gut reaction that keeps telling you to protect, to keep yourself away from others, keep others out of anything intimate about you, you fend it off. And you say her name, and you tell her that you have her ruby key. And you can almost feel something move, something open. And there is no more poking and knocking. There's an open doorway. You can almost visualize it in your mind. And you hear a very low, calm voice. And it is speaking not in common, it is speaking in this infernal dialect. Something very harsh, despite the tone of her voice. And you hear this voice saying, "Thank you for letting me in."
You're welcome. You're the goddess Musine, correct?
I love to hear my name.
Alright, well, I would like to have a little discussion with you, if that's fine.
How polite of you to ask me. I would love to give you the honor.
Well, I appreciate that. For starters, I feel like there might be some potential mistrust between the two of us by default. So why don't we open the ground a little bit with a simple yes or no question from the both of us. How is that? Oh, I'm sorry, not that. That's not my question.
Question used.
So my question to you, do you currently know where I physically am?
Tell me more about me.
You would have to tell me more first.
Tell me more of what I want to know.
Such as...
Say my name again.
I think I would like you to answer my question, if you would be so kind.
Don't be so coy. Just say my name again.
Will you answer the question that I have? If I do,
You'll certainly answer all of my questions. Just say my name again.
well, if you won't answer that, the ruby key of yours, I'm guessing you would like it back.
There's silence for a moment. My ruby key. It's not my ruby key.
So Rosita's ruby key then.
That's two questions.
So you're saying, Mosine, that you don't care if we don't give him back?
How are your friends doing? Do they miss you?
Probably not. I would like to request a trade.
You'd like something from me?
Yes.
How can I make you happy, my sweet worshipper?
I would like to trade the ruby key of yours with a prisoner you have.
I hold no prisoners. All who speak my name love and adore me.
Okay, then someone who loves and adores you, I would like to trade for one of them. One key, one person.
What do you think you will do with that little key?
I could have it destroyed.
As you say that, there's this jarring break in the demeanor as there is this guffawing laughter in your mind. Naughty, naughty. Destroy it.
In fact, I think it would be a waste, so I'd rather trade it. But if the trade isn't on the table, I can arrange for it to be destroyed.
Little liar.
Do you want to gamble that? I know all sorts of people.
I gamble nothing. I guarantee. Say my name again.
Not until we come to an agreement.
You offer me nothing I want. I just want your love.
I am offering you something that was stolen from you. Besides just your power, that is.
My power can't be stolen.
Or
It can
was it
only
sapped
grow.
from you then, back in the Millennium War?
There is another pause. And you can sense, without her sound, you can sense another break in the demeanor. And then she speaks again. If you won't say my name, I'll make sure everyone else will. And you will sit back and watch everyone you love die before your eyes. But I suppose you've seen that already. You didn't do such a good job taking care of anyone. How's your mother?
I wouldn't know.
No. How's your sister?
Not relevant to the conversation.
I think it's very relevant. I'd love to hear them say my name as well. I could do that. Would you like to see that? Your
Not
family
really.
worshipping at my feet?
I don't see it happening. They don't worship at any god up in the North's feet. They're not gonna worship some nameless wannabe god down here.
Oh, Varen, what do you mean?
I mean, you're grasping to try and get some power that you believe you had before, but a true god wouldn't be dethroned.
Lucky shot. And it won't happen again. Say my name again. I'll tell you about my little key.
I just want to make a trade.
Who do you want?
You took a child from Cadence, Vivia. We give you the key. You have Jeremy deliver Vivia to Nora's house.
There's another pause. Well, if you will give me my key, sure. We can have a little trade.
All right, so you will have Jeremy bring Vivia to Nora's house tomorrow morning.
Say my name again.
Once you confirm what I asked, I will.
If it has you kneeling before me, whatever you desire, I will grant it.
So that's a yes to the trade.
Yes, of course.
All right, then I will see Jeremy tomorrow around 9-ish. I don't know how to say that time.
Around the 3-hour mark beyond the sunrise and the new day.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, Musine.
The key will remain unbroken.
You have my word.
The only thing untrustworthy.
Can I
Words.
trouble you for one more point of clarification?
Say my name.
I've already said it. Can I ask you for one more thing?
When you say my name again.
Musine, can I ask you one more thing, please? And get an answer from you.
Your goddess will hear your request.
Mossbridge, was that you?
There's another pause. I control much. And as I grow, I reach further. Give me an insight check. Roll it with
Okay.
disadvantage.
Dang it. With how I've been rolling today. Oh, one of them was a 17. The other one's
Okay.
going to be a 10 or a 12.
You don't need to mark the die. Yeah, she says as she says, it feels like it's just her not being direct for whatever reason.
Can I have a more direct answer? I know you had those knolls in that little rift we went in.
As you say that, there's another kind of tonal shift. It seems to be a positive one. Like there's a smirk somewhere in that darkness. And she says, we are able to utilize whatever we need. Any means at all to get what I deserve. My follower.
So it was at your behest.
You just kind of sense a smirk. But you can't quite read into it further.
All right, well, I look forward to seeing Jeremy tomorrow with Vivia alive and well. And I'll have your ruby key in one piece.
Oh, I know it will be in one piece. 'Cause you, clever as you are, brave, bold as you are, you're not very smart. That's how I like my worshippers. Effective. Not too smart. They get the job done. Exactly how I need. And soon you will all be saying my name. I know I'll be seeing you soon. I'll be seeing all of you soon. Kneeling at my feet. The connection just lingers, even in her silence.
But it's gonna open up his eyes.
Okay. You see this darkish, getting darker swampland around you. And you just can't shake this feeling of this, just a feeling about you that was not there before. It's just sitting there with you. It's kind of heavy, but also kind of open and strange. It's very hard to kind of put your finger on what you're feeling.
And you try to lose that feeling. Shake it off.
You could. How would you like to try to do that? Are you trying to like calm yourself? Are you trying to meditate? Or what are you trying to do? Just kind of snap yourself out of it?
Yeah, just try and like clear his mind, see if he can like push whatever it was, close that door that he opened or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. give me a straight just a wisdom. Give me a wisdom saving throw. Do it at disadvantage.
All right. That's a 9.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of shake it off. You're trying to kind of close that door. You sort of felt in your mind as if maybe that picture of it might help kind of focus you, and it's just kind of sitting with you. It doesn't seem to get off of you. You just feel a little icky.
Okay. He's gonna pace around a little bit more while he tries to get level-headed. I don't know if we want to see what the others are up to during this time.
Sure. I think the others are mainly hanging out, but yeah. Pop back over to the Furbolg colony. Ste'yn, you return, having stormed inside. Where were you headed?
She will go back towards the festivities and try to find Snow or Viola. Putting on a lighter air, trying to be not noticeably concerned.
Okay. Give me a deception or a performance. I'll allow either one.
Same modifier for both, so
Woo!
we'll go performance. So why not? That's not great. That's a 4.
Excellent.
Oh no, wait. Sorry, that's an 8. I subtracted 8 instead of 4.
Gotcha.
We're good.
I'm pretty sure that's still going to be lower than either of their passives. Snow is very easy to spot. He's still been in like the kids' table of the festivities, and honestly, those kids are going wild. They are dancing, they are screaming, they are singing along, they're making up words to music that Snow starts playing just for fun. They keep being handed these really nice carved cups from wood from within the swamp, and they have these beautiful designs that are just natural designs of the wood, and people keep pouring liquid into them, and it's dark liquid, so it kind of looks like what some of the adults are drinking, but it's very clear it doesn't have the same smell to it. They're clearly drinking some kind of like non-alcoholic juice, and the kids kind of act like they might be a little drunk. They're just having fun. Pretending like they're drunk and silly like some of the adults are acting. So Snow is quite easy to spot. I don't know if Viola is with Snow or if she's mingling and perusing.
You're muted.
She's running around, but she probably wouldn't want to hang out at the kids' table all night like Snow does.
Fair.
Sorry, Snow.
It's fine. Ste'yn will go
Yeah.
for Snow first because he'll be easier to find. And
He's definitely easier.
she does hesitate a little bit when she sees how happy and relaxed he seems. But this is also important, so she's not gonna hesitate too much.
Fair. Yeah. Snow, you spot her. There is definitely an air of like, I'm totally trying to have fun here and I'm feeling really bad, that you can sense from a mile away. But entirely up to you if you have anything you'd like to say.
What does Ste'yn do?
Ste'yn sort of walks up and watches him, tries to wait for a little bit of a break in between when he's like singing a song or something or getting a drink refill to catch his attention a little more. Just be like, Beau went to have that conversation.
Snow will finish this song and dance with a flourish and prestidigitation, sparks and minor illusion, little butterflies and flower petals to fall all around the ring of kids around him. before he will duck away from them as they continue with their drinks and festivities to join Ste'yn.
Okay. Off they go.
I tried to convince him not to, but he was insistent. I just thought you should be aware.
What happened?
He asked me to lead him out, get him a little bit lost. So I did. Threatened him with a dagger. Tried to talk some sense into him. He refused. So I left him.
Daggers typically aren't very good at that.
Well. So I left him in the woods, in the swamp.
You left him?
I didn't want to be around when she...
Okay, back up. So this is happening right now. This isn't, oh, this happened.
No, this is...
Oh. Isn't that just dandy?
Not the word
Mad.
I'd use, but
All right. Where's Viola?
I don't know, I found you first.
We'll look around for her, find her mingling with the adults.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. She is, despite her very standout appearance, she just seems to be in her element of party atmosphere, and she is going between people and moving about, making it a little difficult to find. But you can, in a little while, you can catch up and spot her before she's getting ready to head to bed a little early.
Goodness, she knows how to party.
Yeah, we were having fun. Unlike the two of you.
I'm sorry.
For what?
Are you guys with Viola yet, or you just found her but you're having this conversation off to the side?
It depends on if she's like engaged with someone or if she is like wandering away.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we'll intercept her and
Yeah.
join her.
There's one of the scouts who is not on duty has potentially engaged her in a conversation about sword play, something of interest to her, and horses, cute horses. A very engaging conversation. It is bittersweet when Viola, when they note, the person, the lovely lady notes that someone appears to be approaching one of the other of your company and points them out to you. And you do see Ste'yn and Snow approaches, and she says, "Oh, we can finish this another time when you're ready. I think your friends want you." And yes, and if you have any, if you could tell me more about what you learned, that the way that you were able to move in that parry, that was amazing. But we'll talk about that later. And then she goes and talks to someone else.
Sounds good. Viola's gonna run over because she's probably had way too much to drink tonight because she is not used to this kind of
Constitution
partying.
saving throw, please.
Oh my gosh.
You're the one that said it.
Gimme the
Dirty
defense.
20.
Fantastic. You had a lot to drink and you are feeling good.
She's been running around so much, she's just sweating it right off.
Yeah.
But she's gonna run over and probably throw her arms around you guys and be like, "Oh my gosh, guys, this has been like the most fun night ever. Aren't you guys just having so much fun tonight? Snow, I saw you doing all sorts of fun stuff with your magic over there. Ste'yn, I thought you went to bed early, but I'm so happy that you're back out here. It's wonderful."
Oh, you can never get Ste'yn to bed early.
Clearly by the fact
Sorry
that she is so tired right now.
Sorry to interrupt the fun.
Oh, you're not interrupting, Ste'yn. Your presence makes everything better.
In this case, I don't know if it does, because Beau is probably having that conversation right now.
Are you kidding me?
I wish I was.
Well, I mean, there's not really much we can do about it, is there? Like, can we, like, make him not come back in? Because, like, what if he brings that bad mojo in here?
That is
Then
definitely
maybe
a
we can
concern.
for her.
I mean, he didn't sleep in there the last time. He slept outside the last day.
Did
Yes.
you wait, is he like out there right now, or like,
Yes.
so you just left him out there?
Yes.
But he also doesn't know where he's at, so like what if he gets lost?
He's capable enough. If he's willing
Maybe.
to threaten an entire colony.
I mean,
wasn't too-
yeah, clearly poor choices, natural consequences if something does happen.
Without informing you, will be better than being around when that conversation was had.
Well, we can't know what would have happened. Only what will. And I
Very
think
true.
we have two options. One, go out looking for him, or two, we just prepare ourselves as best we can for whatever comes will come.
I think option 2 makes most sense to me because I really don't want to go wandering around in the woods. I've had way too much to drink tonight.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I think that's true.
And I feel like my actions don't support the fact that I understand that this is a very serious thing that's happening right now, but I promise you the gravity of the situation has gone into my brain. I
What's
just am
gravity?
not like... I've had so much to drink, I'm discovering new scientific phenomenon.
No. It's going in the
The
source theory.
serious
Viola
that was
invented
this
gravity.
conversation is not lost on me.
I mean, there's spells that reference
Pinky
gravity.
swear.
There's literally spell called reverse
Yeah,
gravity.
so there is
doesn't
gravity in the
know
world.
So the word gravity does in
Yeah.
fact already exist.
Oh.
Ancient scholars discovered
Remember,
this
Ste'yn
many,
has
many
a
years
10
ago.
intelligence. She is...
Ste'yn doesn't know. What's gravity?
She didn't take
Viola goes into a very long
That wasn't
description
covered
of
in the
what
free
gravity
range
is.
like classes.
So
She was
You'll
in one of
learn
those
all
mega.
day.
She was in one of those mega
my teacher,
religious places
Byron.
that denounce science.
She was on the mean streets, man. She only learned what she needed to survive.
Oh.
Well, then that makes this an easy choice, he says, patting Viola's arm.
Well, like, we can stay for, like, one more drink, right?
Wow.
Come on, don't let Beau kill our vibe.
All right.
Beau's bad decisions are tomorrow's problem.
Amen.
Can't argue with that.
And you do hear that like in the background. They don't know the context. They're like, "That's tomorrow's problem." You hear someone like, "Yes, tomorrow's problem."
Exactly. See, they get it. Bring us a round of drinks. Viola just shouts it into the air.
You got it.
It's been a while since that's worked before. That's kind of nice.
Did them a great service.
Well, hopefully we have
Worrying
eyes
about
for
what
them.
may or may not happen in the future isn't going to change anything, so we might as well enjoy our night while we can.
It's true. Worrying means you suffer twice.
I like that. That's a good one. You should write that down. Unless, did somebody else say that first, or did you come up with that?
I came up with that.
See,
The
you need to,
inventor of
like,
gravity.
write a little book of, like, sayings. That would be good.
Snowflakes.
That's great. I heard this idea from just the ether. You should call it snowflakes.
I think you should get drunk more often because that is a really great idea.
Thanks, Ether. More drinks.
Herbal named Ether brings up some drinks.
Snow will sit, but he is not trying to go where Viola is.
Ste'yn's not either.
Not Ether.
Viola will simmer down a bit.
I think we'll go back to our spot for the night.
Our guest hut.
After that
The
last
guest
round of
lodge.
drinks.
Yeah, Ether comes around with more drinks, and you guys are able to take
We're
those
the best.
in the souvenir cups and take them back with you to the guest hutch. As you're settling in for bed, nice and early-ish, Viola, was there something you wanted to do as well?
Yes, Viola would like to use her ring for the evening because she has one use of that per day.
Okay.
I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, at least once per day. So she would like to ask her ring, and I don't remember if she said it out loud last time or if she just thought it.
I think she might have
I
done
think she
both, just unsure how magic works, but
Yeah, I don't
it's
remember for
possible. I don't remember
sure.
either.
But she, whatever she did last time, I'll try to remember and look it up. But I mean, this one, it's okay if she whispers it out loud. So she'll like cup her ring up to her hand and whisper and think at the same time. She just wants to ask, what can you tell me about the uses of this ring?
Tell me about yourself.
So tell me, so do you come here often? Almost immediately, this warm feeling takes over you as you hear this sweet voice in your mind. And she says, this was made especially to help my family, to keep close, never let you out of my sight, to protect you. The world is full of dangers, some closer than we ever hope they'll be. But this way, I can be here when you need me. And you'll understand more soon, when you're open, when you're ready. But I will be here.
Viola doesn't know anything about like trying to attune to things, so the thought that she has is she's gonna take the ring off of her finger and she's gonna lay down in bed and she's gonna put it on her forehead and just kind of lay there and think about the ring and talk to it and start telling it her secrets, because she remembered, I think Snow told her that she has to tell it all of her secrets to attune to it. So that's gonna be what she does for like the next 10 or so minutes before she goes to bed.
Excellent. You bare your heart to this ring and the kindly soul within it.
Ste'yn is going to go
Snow-
over to find
Mhm.
Snow
Mhm.
when Viola is talking to her ring.
As she does.
It's like,
Do you think we
we're just
should?
gonna let that happen
Yeah.
for a while. It's fine.
Yeah, she's basically
just-
screaming into her hands drunkenly.
The ring is getting all this like echo and feedback because it's just muffled like. Oh, gosh.
Honey, are you going through a tunnel? Honey, can you hear me?
Yeah, she just sits beside Snow wherever he is, and will say in Celestial, I know you saw some of what I did. You were watching.
I tried.
How far did you see?
I saw you as a little girl being attacked by a creature. You were trying to fend it off.
Made a what felt at the time a very valiant effort, but was nothing. But, everything
Perhaps
went
because of the time, it was everything.
quite possibly. I think I was around 2. But and she'll just, in her own sort of halting way, explain the rest of what happened after that. How everything very painful, and then very bright, and then there was a Tala's touch. And she said that's not everything I've forgotten.
Snow's going to use a charge of his medallion to see some of that as she's explaining it.
She'll
So
let
that
him.
he has a visual.
Apparently I've been praying wrong all this time or something. Don't know. But not expecting to have that sort of revelation this morning.
How do you feel about it?
A little bit disoriented, perhaps. Because it feels like that's not how I had imagined things had gone. Didn't think that I'd essentially died before. Or came very close to it. That's not something you expect to learn about yourself. And it makes me wonder if anyone else knew about it. And what happened afterwards.
Do you think maybe that's why your family treated you the way they did? They were
It's
afraid
possible.
because they didn't understand what happened.
It's very possible. They were still are not a very religious inclined sort. And I doubt a toddler is good at explaining things. But yeah, I thought you should get to finish what you started to see. You know that it didn't end terribly. I'm going to try and find her again in that same sort of way. Hopefully without the trouble waking. And find out what else there is I need to know.
I'm glad you told me.
It feels a little less overwhelming. Someone else knows about it?
Two hearts make light of burdens.
Another one of your snowflakes.
The book writes itself.
Seems like it does. Thank you.
Snow's gonna just give her a hug.
She'll return it. And then she's gonna go try and go to sleep.
All right.
Snow's gonna tell her one last thought as she's lying down for bed. I'm not sure you can pray wrong.
I obviously wasn't doing it right.
If I don't listen to you, is it your fault for speaking incorrectly, or is it my fault for ignoring you?
She doesn't really have a response to that.
Sleep well.
You too.
Snow is going to ritually cast the hut around them. Actually, first, before he does that, he's going to spend another charge from his medallion and use the sense thoughts ability to sense if there is anyone within 30 feet of him other than Viola and Ste'yn.
So within 30 feet of the hutch.
Right.
Okay. It itself is fairly large. But from outside and beyond it, you catch a scout. One of the scouts probably, or you'd assume, probably being protective of this area, especially around their guests.
He will read the scout's surface thoughts.
Oh, detect thought. I thought it was a different thing you were using.
No, there's two functions.
Oh,
detect
sense
thoughts.
I see.
Sense thoughts and read thoughts.
Got it.
Using sense thoughts to see if there's anyone around, particularly if there was anyone spying on them, anyone unseen, any creatures that know languages or are telepathic within 30 feet of snow,
Gotcha.
other than Ste'yn and Viola.
Blocked by a foot of stone, dirt, or wood. Okay, yeah. No, it's not that thick, I guess. Okay. Yeah, surface level thoughts. They're kind of swirling a little bit, like maybe they're not totally clear, trying to focus on various potential weak spots within the colony, and thoughts on how they have in fact bolstered those particular areas. They seem on high alert, but maybe had a couple drinks before getting there.
Right. He will put up the hut around them for a slightly added layer of protection.
Perfect.
And then he will stay awake for the first 2 hours. But if nothing catches his attention, he won't wake up one of the others for another watch.
Okay. It does appear, as the others kind of Ste'yn assuredly falls asleep faster than maybe even she expected. She kind of is out when hitting that pillow. Like her body was ready to finally sleep. You don't note anything in particular. Nothing seems to stand out as dangerous. I think we're to see where Beau is. I don't think Beau's coming back to the hut.
Well, I'm not saying that he's not going to do that, so you shouldn't say that in
Right,
2 hours
so-
he's not gonna have anything disturb.
In 2 hours, he hasn't found his way back yet. No, I'm
Well,
kidding.
how many rolls can I get
wandering
for
the
this
forest.
save if he's been focusing on that for this whole time?
It just, well, you just note that, even if the feeling lingers. It's
Yes,
just
and that's
kind
why
of
he
there.
was gonna keep making. That's what he was doing during that time.
The saving it's
Yes.
yeah, it does not. I mean, it feels like it's a kind of stuck feeling. Like you can roll again, but it's more a matter of how much versus there or not at all is what you sense over time, right? So it's just like whatever that feeling is, it's just it is lingering. It is not going anywhere.
Well, then he would have probably arrived much sooner, or at least sooner than I had anticipated if he can't do anything about it.
To
It
the
sounded
colony
like
again?
he could do something, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry about that. Give me a if you're making your way back to the colony, from this lost point in the swamp. I love that you
I
guys
mean, it
did
sounded like
that.
mostly she went in circles with them from the sounds of it. I don't know if she really got out of view.
She did get out of view for sure. That was established. But give me a survival check at disadvantage.
Even with a map, he has disadvantage?
I mean, the map that Nora had given you, that map?
I mean, he had a
Or was
map
there
that
another-
he used to get all the way over to the tree. I imagine he has a map that helps with the general area.
I think they just guided or just told you
No, he had
as
some...
far as where the tree was.
He brought
I
out
don't
his
recall them
map and he
giving
put it
you-
on a table.
The one that Nora had given.
I mean, that may have
Or-
been it, but all I
like,
know
there
is he
isn't a
put
map.
out... I know he put a map out on the table and what's his face marked it, and they used that to get to the tree.
Yeah, but there isn't like a map that is like, hey, here are the various areas of this swamp. That's not there. And Nora's map is like, but I mean, yeah, it's better than nothing, I suppose. You can roll regular, sure.
That's a 12, or I can make it higher if it needs to be.
Go ahead, roll.
14.
Okay. Scratch your die. It takes a bit of wandering. It's not as quick as you would like, but you do spot kind of in among all the other squishing and bumps and such in the muck in the swamp. You think maybe you've spotted Ste'yn's angry footsteps leaving the area to guide you back to the colony. You see Nahorn is back out front. He kind of flags you down, and he asks you, "Is everything all right out there?"
Yes. And he keeps walking.
Apologies have helped in the past. Okay. and you keep walking past him. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know how long it might take for you to get back and where they were, and but if you want to say that you caught up to them later, or you got back to the hut, if there's anything else you'd like to do tonight.
Well, if he can't get the feeling in his head to go away, then he's going to try an unconventional method of...
We like that.
So I don't know if we wanted to say that he shows up as he's putting up the hut, or if he shows up while Snow's on watch, just to make that a little bit more consecutive or whatever.
Sure,
Right.
it could be while Snow is on watch.
All right, then Carol, walk in. You guys in here? Then who will just walk around?
And there he is.
Like, I mean,
Snow awake.
Well, is Snow stepping out of the hut or poking out of? Yeah, I didn't think so. But I mean, the
that's
hut
true,
wood
he
isn't
is.
invisible, so
No, you can tell it's there. You know what to look for. It's not that terribly
Especially by
difficult.
this point. Yeah.
Yeah, you're used to seeing me.
can somebody come out of the hut?
I'm not sure that this is going to be enough for Viola or Ste'yn to wake up. Because I'm assuming Viola.
Well, I'm not going to
asleep.
yell into the mic.
Are you trying to wake them up or get their attention?
I mean, if they aren't responding, he will get progressively louder.
Yeah, eventually they're going to
Snow wasn't
Ste'yn.
waiting that long. He just wanted to wait after the initial hello. And once it's clear that Beau is just going to stand there waiting, he's not going to just ignore him.
Okay.
Snow will call back out somewhat quietly because the others are sleeping. Yeah, we're in here.
Okay.
How was your conversation?
It was good. So, if everyone could get up, maybe I can fill you in.
I mean, we can hear you. Well, the others are asleep, but
Which is...
did you learn anything interesting?
Yes. Can you wake them?
Snow will gently shake the two girls awake.
Can I help you? I was getting some rather nice sleep there.
I apologize. I have some information, but there's also some kind of... I don't know how to describe, some kind of feeling in the back of my mind. So, before
Like an unwelcome visitor.
Potentially. But...
Or I guess a welcome one, technically, for you.
But it's... While I was pacing around out there, it occurred to me that a real god should be able to push out a fake one. So, Ste'yn, do you think Atala would offer some aid to her champion by helping me.
You want me to plead to Atala on your behalf?
It's not my preferred method of dealing with something, but I at least acknowledged Atala exists and is a goddess.
Yes.
Did
that's
you
a major
try
step for
doing it
you.
yourself?
Of course.
I don't believe you at all. At this point, Viola will leave the hut so she can, like, is face to face with Beau.
You think my first thought would be to go and try and get the lovely Atala to do this for me?
Well, that's the first thing you've said to us, so.
What?
That's
Is she
the first
drunk?
thing you've talked to us about is trying to get Atala's help. So what do you mean it's not the first thought?
It wouldn't be my go-to course of action.
But
I will
clearly it
pray on
is.
your behalf.
It's a backup plan.
Yeah, she really wants to help you now.
Okay, do you think you can get her to help my head? And then I can tell you what I got.
I truthfully do not know to what extent she will aid. But I will ask her on your behalf.
Well, you could always leverage the fact that maybe she'll make a convert out of someone. Or at least expose a fake god. That ought to get her
I don't.
going.
Given. You don't leverage with goddess like Atala. You're not trying to manipulate her into doing what you want. You ask
Sure.
her to extend her power out of the kindness and the goodness of that who she is. There's a difference there.
I find leverage to be a little bit easier. But we could try her out. I'm open.
Very open.
That's probably something you'd be better suited for staying after resting.
Well,
Possible.
I want to come up with a plan, but I can't do that if I think she's thinking or reading what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's pretty poor planning, I'd say.
So can you help
Just-
me tonight?
Ste'yn will reach a hand out of the hut. And touch. She'll say, give me your hand.
Her do that.
Ooh, Ste'yn and Beau are holding hands.
And she's going to. She doesn't think it's going to do anything, but she's going to cast Remove Curse to see if it'll do something.
I'm gonna look the spell up.
Would you like me to read it for you?
Read it for the folks at home, if you please.
At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a cursed item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object, so it can be removed or discarded.
The brain is a type of object.
So is the soul. Huh. Wild. Okay. You reach out and he offers you his hand. You cast the spell, calling upon Atala. You feel the magic leaving you, Um, and there is something you don't know how to quite explain it. You don't quite know how to put words to it. But it is something dark and vile. Something that feels very wrong as the magic is leaving you and entering into Beau. And it's as it's hitting him where you kind of feel, maybe it's what he is feeling, but you feel the magic leave you. Beau, it is very bright in your mind. And for the first time since this all started, since you kind of purposely pushed open that door, whatever it was, you get this stark sense, similar to the tonal shift in Mosin's voice. You get a similar kind of stark shift in your mind. And it does feel much, much better. You essentially feel back to normal. Your mind is just so bright for a second that, like, you kind of have, like, these, like, after images in your actual sight. Everything was so bright. But it wasn't uncomfortable. It was actually very warm. You're left feeling very gentle. Very, like, almost like a motherly embrace. Or maybe more like a sisterly embrace. A little bit playful, but all very loving. And as that bright shock kind of leaves your eyes and kind of blink away the after image, you don't feel that kind of shaky, weird sensation anymore.
Well, it seemed to have worked.
Better than Katala.
Thank you, Atala.
I just wish there was a way to capture this moment.
Thankfully, I think it's recorded on the internet.
What's the
What's an
internet?
internet?
All right.
Ste'yn, real quick, Ste'yn, as he says those words, in the very back of your mind, you hear something. It almost sounds like a giggle.
Ste'yn will laugh a little bit at that.
All right.
I'm glad she
well,
could be of aid.
I can tell you what we discussed. She tried to first play off like the key didn't matter to her. I threatened to have it destroyed, and she turned her tune a little bit. I then arranged for a trade. She is going to have Jeremy bring the key, or not the key. We're going to bring the key to Nora's house. Jeremy is going to bring Vivia to Nora's house. We can use this to our advantage in some way, I figure. I'm piecing together...
Sorry, continue.
Well, I'm piecing it together. Nora's house has had time to get fixed. If we can contact her, we can make sure her barrier is up and running. Or at least make sure she's present in her house. So I'm thinking was one of the reasons why I wanted to meet there. But not in her house, but front of her house, essentially. Any thoughts?
So after all you went on about keeping the key out of Sorry, Ste'yn would not make that mistake. This is Catherine.
He says.
Through all that trouble of keeping the key out of her hands, you want to give it to her.
Well, the
We
intention's
don't even
not
know
to-
if Vivia's still alive.
You've been
You don't even know if she's-
contacting her.
I contacted her once. She was weak. She was hurt. She was
Yes.
scared.
Yes. So, that's why we're going to get her out. The goal isn't to actually give her the key.
We need to get Vivia out, but
This also brings one of her rubies to us, based off of those letters.
perhaps.
So essentially, the goal is to rescue Vivia and kill Jeremy while protecting the key.
This could be a situation where if we could keep him alive to get information, it could be good. Otherwise, if we have no other option, killing him is probably the way to go.
We're forcing a lot of hands here.
Well, I like the idea of us forcing the hands than our hands being forced.
You're forcing all our hands here.
I'm giving us an opportunity.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
No, do you still have your trick? Your warping trick?
For
Bell.
transportation?
Yes.
Yes.
So we can use that to separate Vivia from Jeremy.
Mhm.
And actually, if Nora's house is rigged, whatever you want to call it, we could have, if Nora opens the curtains of her house, Snow could actually just put Vivia inside Nora's house where Nora is there. That would put her out of harm's way while we take care of Jeremy.
Do you think Jeremy will actually come alone?
I don't think he'll actually come alone, but we can take them with a full night's rest. We were going to have to take them out at some point. I don't think all of the rubies will come.
I guess
No,
we'll
I
find
agree with
out.
Perhaps it would be good to give Nora some warning tonight.
And reach out to one person tonight.
If you can ask her if she could be home at like 9-ish. Evan. And barrier up, window open, curtain wide. We don't want to have sun glare obstructing Snow's view.
Ste'yn's gonna look at Snow just to get a feel for where he is in all this right now.
He gives a little shrug, a little bit of a smirk.
Give me a few moments to figure out what to say to her. Because
If this is what's happening, then this is what's happening. And if Vivier is brought, I'll make sure she's kept safe.
I have an idea on how to verify it's actually her, too.
Go on.
Well, I'll just reference this button she sewed on here. Vivian knows that she's the one that did it. We don't have that many options to go on with verifying her.
I also gave her something as well.
Okay, and we can also use that.
So we have a couple things. Definitely useful. And obviously I can read her mind as well.
Yeah, so if I could set up a mind link for us. Snow gets in position, so he is in range for both locations. And I feel like that's all I can think of right now.
Even if it's a bad plan is better than no plan.
I did get confirmation on one other thing. So, I confirmed that it was her people. Not saying that were behind Mossbridge, Snow. So, I don't know if you were thinking about that one way or the other. It crossed my mind after hearing about it and seeing Knowles in that rift place, and I wanted to verify my suspicions.
Understood.
So, it seems like things have gone okay. Sorry, Ste'yn, for putting you in a bad spot earlier. And thanks
We still
for not
don't know the
cutting
extent
off
of
my
your
head.
actions. It's very tempting.
You almost cut off his head?
Could have. She just sort of looks over at the hand axe that's by your bed. Could have.
Go stay in. Nothing against you, Beau.
What have you accomplished tonight, Viola?
Thank you very much, have been having some great conversations tonight and enjoying myself thoroughly. And I was actually having a pretty good sleep before you interrupted me. So that's 3 things right there, as opposed to your one chat.
Not that it's a competition, but I brighten the world with the smiles of children and laughter and created more beauty than there was before, but, you know, little things. Snow will laugh. He's not being serious. Well, it's getting late. Sounds like we have a big day tomorrow.
I'll send this and then go back to sleep.
Viola goes
Ste'yn
back
will-
into the hut to go to bed.
Opens the door of the hut.
Where's that door at?
She's like poking her hands through, like, nope, that's not the door, that's not the door.
I know my hand went through, but that's not the door.
Snow's just like, what is she looking for specifically?
A door.
All the same.
All right.
Let us know what she says.
I will.
Good night.
Ste'yn says, cast the sending spell. Reaching out to Nora. And she says, Fortify your house. We come back in morning. Jeremy, bringing child for swap. He is dark. Child innocent. Big things brewing. Be ready. Sorry. Thanks.
No window?
There's only so many words!
We didn't have to say all these
And you
other
wasted
things.
them with a thank you?
That was
Definitely point
A
out
lot of
that
things I
the
wanted to
child is
say.
innocent.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. I love her.
it's important to
The point to
stay
have a
to
spot for her
emphasize
to
the child
bamf
is-
to.
We'll get there early. Make sure.
Give me half a second. Um. I shouldn't take the time to pre-write this. I shouldn't. I should just say it and count it off on my hands because she wouldn't have time to pre-write it. She has to respond immediately. Okay, so sorry, thanks. Sorry and a thank you. Saying it's the best.
2 words.
You get an immediate response. You hear Nora saying, if you're safe, do not return. If you found the haven, stay. City is unsafe. I've gotten the novices. Don't enter the Peace District.
Good thing our house is in the Rally District.
Thanks.
She says we shouldn't come back. The city's not safe. She's got the novices, and that we really shouldn't enter the Peace District.
Well, good thing we're going to the Rally District.
She also said thanks. I had one more word left.
And she said thanks.
Very important that we know that.
See, I thought thanks was more just for me for reaching out in the first place. It's a personal thanks.
It's a common kindness.
I know you don't know this, but what does it mean she got the novices?
She was trying to get the novices safe. So I assume that means she's gathered them, gotten them somewhere safe.
Hope they're not all in our house.
Well, maybe we can use them.
Be a lot of people in her house, probably not. Now she's got a basement.
I mean, the novices can fight. Maybe not as well as we can, but they are
Technically,
there.
we're still novices.
No.
Actually, we're heroes of the realm.
We're champions.
We are the mighty Vivere.
Yes. I mean, technically, this is my second guardianship. I've already been a warden.
Well, congratulations. Seems like the smarts didn't stay.
I don't know what you mean.
What's done is done. Any adjustments to our plan based on Nora's admonition?
If Nora can't be in the house, we can verify when we arrive if the runes are up, if it's protected. That's an easy thing to verify.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially Ste'yn, you have... Ste'yn or Snow, if Nora can't be in the house, maybe one of you position yourself in the house. Because both of you have pretty good range. Are you muted?
Yeah.
We can. I suppose we'll see what it's like when we get there. Anything else?
We have no one else we can contact, right?
I can reach out to Atala if we have a specific question.
Help.
Can you ask her if she thinks there's anything better to do with this plan? Any adjustments?
I can.
Well, I mean, if you
I
can,
can.
you might as well.
Or, well, that and what if she can get us a visual?
The way what I'm going to try and do works is asking a specific question and getting a very specific answer through divination.
Okay, let's try that method.
I don't think my connection's strong enough to directly commune with her just yet.
What if we
Yeah,
all
we probably
tried
need to
commune
level
with
up
her,
first.
though? Would that give
Hmm?
your connection more validity?
I'm sorry, I missed part of that.
Like, if we all, I don't know, chanted her name or something, fueling your line of power to her. Do you
I
think
think you
that could work?
misunderstand how our relationship functions.
Yeah, I don't think
To
that's
be
how
honest,
that
I
works.
don't understand it fully. But you would like to, in your own way, ask her to aid us in this as well. It certainly can't go wrong. Do you
Here's
want
the
to
thought.
sit in there and chant her name? By all means.
Here's another thought for tomorrow. It would be better if we can keep this fight behind her house rather than in front of the house in the streets, because that will collect more attention. And I imagine there's still guards.
Well, how are we supposed to move it to the back of the house?
Well, if we're in the back of the house, they will come around to the back to give us Vivia and to receive their prize. All we need
Let-
to do is make it clear that we're back there, which I can do.
Let's see what everything looks like first, and then we can set up a counterattack.
Talking Ste'yn is getting out incense and some candles, and she is setting up this little ritual.
Okay. I'm going to do this as well. You're going to do this as well tonight. Is this a spell or a feature that you're using?
It is a spell. It is the spell divination.
Divination.
Yes, this spell puts you in contact with a god or a god's servants. You ask one question about a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The DM offers a truthful reply, which might be a short phrase or cryptic rhyme. The spell doesn't account for circumstances that might change the answer, such as the casting of other spells.
No worries if you don't think up a cryptic rhyme in a few
I
seconds.
know you saw my face. Cryptic rhyme. I just
No,
came up with
I have the same
ascending.
thought every time I read that spell. It's just like
I'm going to do a cryptic rhyme. No, not today.
I'm
No,
not just
One
gonna
day.
think of a cryptic rhyme on the spot.
I'm going to have like a set of Dr. Seuss books just hanging out with me and start using just terminology from there to come up with something cryptic. Okay.
So Ste'yn's going to take out some of the nice incense that she has and light that. It fills the hut with a nice Nice smell, a little bit.
Mm.
Just smells like good church incense. You know that smell?
Oh,
Just gonna
yes.
go with that.
The good church incense. That good high mass. Yes.
Yes. And
The
then
only
she
thing that could
will.
make it better would be if it was actually like chrism smell. Chrism is better than like new baby smell. It's just,
It takes her about 10 minutes to cast this. She's doing it as a ritual.
Ah, okay.
And then
I was
she
like,
will.
I see an action.
It's an action, but it's a
disagree.
ritual because she's out of 4th level spell slots now.
That'll happen.
It does. And then she will.
Counterspell it now.
She's close this time. I got it.
Then she just asks, Dear Tala, you've been a great help already this day. I come before you asking for your aid in one more thing for this night. And that is, if there are any changes we should make to our plan to ensure greater success in Gratimano, particularly for the safety of Vivia.
Okay.
Snow uses one last charge to read the conversation that happens in her mind.
Fine. Conversation. It's a relatively short answer, but hey, that means you get to use it. Okay. The safety of Vivia. If there's anything to do to change, if there's any changes that need to be made to the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Was that that was the question?
Yeah, about the plan's success, particularly for the safety of Vivia.
Okay. You are told in a more controlled kind of tone. Generally, Atala has a very happy voice about her, and it is still a happy sound. But you hear her words to you. She tells you, gosh, it's hard to think up on the spot. She says, this child that you care for isn't in that city. But there are others that you can help. If you're very careful, be mindful. Take the trip.
So Atala's telling us we need to do some tripping.
Or maybe she's tripping.
Ste'yn will repeat what she
drinks.
said. And thank her.
Thanks.
When you say repeat what she says, you mean you're repeating it to her, you're repeating it to the room?
No, Ste'yn thanks Atala, and then we'll repeat to everybody else what Atala said.
Well, I didn't think Vivia was actually in the town. It was more so that they were going to bring her in. Was what my thinking was.
Yes.
Do you think that potentially maybe it could be a trap?
Obviously.
Think it mean. Yes.
But we're also advised to go anyway.
Feel better about going. And we'll be mindful. Very demure.
You can be
No,
Mia.
that almost slipped by me.
They also, assuming
Almost.
they are laying a trap, we are well expecting that that's what it is. And we have already established our own trap. So,
We'll go. Carry on.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good
Sweet
night.
dreams.
I don't know if I can after that.
Beau's going to leave the guest house.
Where is Beau going to sleep? Outside of the colony?
Yeah, it's gonna go
In
outside
the
the colony. I
wilderness?
guess he'll try, I don't know, going on one more hunt since that hasn't been successful at all. That's the last thing to try and do.
Okay. Give me a quick survival check.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I got an 11. Or
Okay. You don't have to mark the die, you're good.
oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good. Of the creatures of the swamp, things you can find out there, you find something that's suitable. You feel better than you have the last few hunts you've gone on. So you will feel satisfied. You can
Alright.
sleep easy with a
Cool.
full belly.
And then I
something.
sleep under a tree somewhere. Or in a tree somewhere.
Okay.
Snow will play a lullaby on his pan flute to help the girls fall asleep, giving them inspiration, as it were.
Ah,
Oh, thanks.
okay. For my own knowledge, maybe I'm trying to slightly anticipate, and then gauge. So, what is your plan then when you wake up? What is the thought here?
Get Duncan, whatever his
I'm
name
that
is.
guy.
Duncan.
Yeah,
Teleport as close as
Teleport.
we can to Grati Minot.
at that shack place and then get to the
Mhm.
rally district, which we could
Yep.
probably scale the wall, not going through the main gate would be easy enough for us to do. We've technically did it to get out of the Peace District. I think we could do it to get into the rally district.
Speak for yourself. Ste'yn is against walls. She doesn't believe in them.
I'm sure
It'll
we'll
be
manage
fine.
somehow.
Yeah, give her another chance.
We'll only be at a
Um,
-2 to all rolls tomorrow, so.
Right, it's not all gone.
Woohoo.
You do have a potion of vitality, Ste'yn.
Yeah, but
you can use to get rid of that exhaustion.
I don't think it's.
do.
I feel
If
like
it
that potion
seems-
is better to be held when somebody has more exhaustion than one level.
If
Depends
it
on what
seems like
goes
it's
on,
dire
though.
enough,
Yeah.
then she's gonna take it. But otherwise, hold on to it for now.
Okay. Okay, so the plan is to cast
Get up and get out of Dodge.
and get to Undra
And
Mhm.
get
Mhm.
into Dodge.
and get from the firing pan to the
Yeah.
fire.
Exactly.
And
Excellent.
I think, I don't know if he actually started on it or not, but the request for Nora's outside of house map has already been requested.
Yeah,
of you, so
I understand now.
I said,
do
we had a
understand
message. I was
now.
like, do we have a map, a battle map on the
For
outside
no
of
real
Nora's
reason,
house?
but just in case.
I was like, I'm not going to elaborate, but I would like to request.
I will not be elaborating further. Okay, noted. Excellent. All right. Then we'll say that you guys get to sleep. There's some of that nervous energy of what's awaiting you tomorrow. But between Snow's soothing lullaby for the ladies, and it's always calming for him to play. It's always just it's nice for him to play. And for Beau having a finally successful hunt, you are able to get your rest with the morning sun, the only thing really necessary to wake you up from your peaceful slumber into a day that maybe only Atala and the other gods may know what it might bring. And we will end our session there. So much appreciate y'all. There was a thought I had that, like, a point I was like, I want to get us to this point, and then I realized how the teleportation circle works. A good thing I didn't spend time on one of the props I was gonna do. Yay! Because it's not necessary now. But that's fine. This is how we learn. We learn by doing. So everybody wins. But I won't keep you all super long. It is a little late. And we have things to do in the morning. So thank you from all of us here at Tales from the Catacombs. Catch up and recapture your favorite moments by subscribing to the channel. We are well over 200 subscribers now. We are in great anticipation of Catherine's upcoming, heaven knows when we're going to plan that out, upcoming marathon one-shot that with a very fun quirk. I'm so excited. I am so excited. So that's going to be a great time because of our subscribers like you. So if you know other people who are looking for really fun, interesting and engaging role play, fun combat scenarios as the DM is learning how to do all this, and a place that is just a little kinder to folks who love God, let them know that we're here at Tales from the Catacombs, because we love you too. And a particularly huge thanks to my players whose links are... Oh, sorry, I forgot to say we appreciate you journeying with us to bring clean content to the world of tabletop RPG. That's what we do. Particularly huge thanks to my players whose links are in the description below. Please take a moment to follow these tremendous people and their very exciting endeavors. David, who plays Beau, Catherine, who plays Ste'yn, Kassie, who plays Viola, and Josh, who plays Snow. I am Brenna. I'm your storyteller for this adventure, and we will see you back here next time. Safe travels and good sleep until we meet again.